Hello, everybody, and welcome back to some cheeky 7 days. Now, we have got post-aftermath horde to deal with, haven't we? We seem to be doing okay. I mean, I used a fair bit. Oh, why have I only got... Oh. Why don't I have my other two slots available? I also seem to be infected, which I didn't even notice. Let's use that. Why? Why do I have two slots missing? I've gone brain dead. Why is that like that? My God, is it because I'm infected and I've lost strength or something? Maybe? Good morning. We'll figure that out in a minute. Who we got in chat? You're right, Simpson. How you doing, mate? Good morning, Alison. Good morning, Night Owl. How are you doing, my friend? Moasso. Good morning, Taylor Reese. Good morning, good morning. Clavin. You don't know me. Adam Thwaite, Nid Bain. Quiet. Rysarth. Yeti. You're in early today, mate. How's Pooch doing? How's Mackie Valiant? You're right, Mika Lynn. God, I got the gurgle coming on already. It's like literally icy outside. So I've come in from like icy cold into central heating nightmare. You're right, version 1. Oh, is it my gloves version? Oh, yeah, you're right. I've got the wrong gloves on, ain't I? Box on the floor. Did I switch them out prior to the horde or something? Oh, well spotted, mate. Well spotted. See? It's a good job someone's paying attention. There you go. Bish bash bosh, mate. Lovely. I'll tell you what, let's just put everything in there just really quickly so then I can start again, can't I?
This 2-week gap in my payment and anniversary sucks big hairy donkey bollocks.
What's that, Mojo? What? All I heard was donkey bollocks, mate. What's that all about? This 2-week gap in your payment and anniversary. Oh, is that because of the new job, Mojo? Oh, thank you so much for the 35, dude. Seriously, bro. Thank you very, very much. And thank you for the tier 3 yet again. Thank you very much, Mojo. Seriously, bro. You're an absolute freaking... Mojo's one of life's good guys. I only get to say this like every now and again because otherwise it all goes to his head, you see. Thank you so much, Mojo. Honestly. Thank you for everything, bro. You're a diamond geezer, mate. We're very lucky to have you around these here parts, bro. Thank you very much for that, sir. And I really do mean that. Thank you. Thank you for the tier 3. Thank you for the 35. Thank you for all the other wonderful things you contribute to our small but enigmatic community. We'll leave it at that, shall we? Enigmatic. I kind of like that. What does he mean? Who knows? Right, let me get my normal... So we should have Timmy the Turret and stuff kicking around somewhere, right? Or is that all on the motorbike? Oh, Jesus. I don't even know. Looks like we... Oh, I remember. It's because we just had that nightmare run, hadn't we? We just come hot from that tier... Oh my God, that means I haven't actually made any... Jeez, we're so far behind. Right, let me just make the arrowheads. Let's make 500 of those. What's that? 5 minutes on the clock. That should be more than enough. So if we throw that and that in there. Let's go and check out the mini bike. Let's go get our normal loadout done and then we can chill out. I might do a bit of building today. We might investigate electrics, perhaps. What do you think? Good morning, good morning, good morning. So how did the job interview go, Taylor? You had a job interview yesterday, didn't you, mate? Mackie's going well. Another trip back to the vet and I found that his teeth are going, so I'm pretty happy I'm switching him to wet food. Oh, do you think that might have been what it was? He just wasn't able to eat, like, the crunchier foods and things, Valiant. Because you did say that you'd mix some of his food with water, didn't you? I think on Discord or Twitch chat. Oh, I guess the motorbike is back the other way, isn't it? Or the mini bike, should I say. Let's go in there. I'm going to worry about closing the hat. What's that? Is that a bank holiday for you, Wentex? Is that an Irish bank holiday, is it? Yeah, no such thing on this side of the pond, mate. You're right, Santa. Good morning, sir. What was all that about making Shades an officer in Discord, Santa? Shades was like one of the first officers, I think. Why am I not making steel arrows? Because they used the polymer, dude. And I'm not ready to invest in all that yet. I've got other things I want to use my iron for, so... We'll move on to that probably post next horde, I think. I haven't got a huge amount of polymer, so until I'm comfortable farming that, I'd rather use up the last of my feathers, to be honest. Right, so... This is where we're going to be doing a bit of building later. Just come and have a little look before we do the inventory. We have got ammo, right? Yeah. She's going to be a tricksy beast, isn't she? We're going to have to do a bit of terraforming, I think. Wonder how wide the garage doors are. I guess they must be 5 because they would have introduced the garage doors in a way that enables a 4x4 to get in. Obviously, wouldn't they? So I can only assume. I'll tell you what. Shall we just go to the trader now and get that out of the way before we get all our gear kitted out? Because we can get rid of that slot. We can get rid of the stash, can't we? Oh, look at that. Skills, my friend, skills. Mojo, one of my friends, Call of Duty campaign, he's not the greatest player. He's also not, you know, certainly not the worst. 6 hours, dude, campaign. 6 hours, or almost to the dot, mate. Wasn't you know, mega rushing it. Wasn't, you know, obviously taking his time with it. 6 freaking hours, mate. There's no one paying 50 quid for 6 hours, dude. Not in a million fucking years. I thought it was loads longer. Do you have any jobs? We'll go for an easy tier 3 for later.
I will make it worth your while.
Is there anything I actually really need to buy? We were going to look at 7.62 ammo, weren't we? Or just ammo in... I wonder if you can do ammo. Well, you can. 25. Is it even worth it? 25 rounds for 500 dukes. That's crazy, mate. 129 for 2 grand. It's just not worth it doing tier 5 still, is it? A tier 5, you're lucky to be coming out with about between 4 and 5k in it. And there's no way you're getting through a tier 5 with 240 odd rounds, 250 rounds and 9mm. We just tried it. Not even close, dude. Not at this game stage. I suppose therein lies the issue, isn't it? As game stage increases, you're going to get more and more bullet sponge zombies, but you're not getting more and more rewards. I guess the whole reward system's fundamentally flawed. But it's offset by the fact that in theory, you can manufacture your own ammo much easier later on. But therefore, what's the point in doing the fucking tier 5s in the first place? Someone did say that you got more loot. You had more zombie things. Whoa!
Have a drink on me for years of entertaining streaming.
You don't know me. That is extremely generous of you, sir. Thank you very, very much, my friend. That is a big wedge of cash, mate. I'll tell you what I'm gonna do, mate, because I don't really drink. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm gonna treat myself to my Tassimos with that, mate. So every cup of coffee I have on the stream for the next probably 2 to 3 weeks will be on you, mate. Thank you very much, bro. That is awesome, dude. Thank you very, very much indeed. I literally am running out of Tassimos, and I'm not in a position to eBay the balls out of them. I will be now. Thank you very much, you don't know me. And I tell you what, just in case you're a drinker, I'll treat myself to a Beck's Blue at the weekend from Ranches as well. Thank you very much, my friend. That is like freaking awesome, mate. That actually has come at a really nice time. I think I've got about 6 pods left, mate. Thank you very much, Nomi. Thank you very, very much indeed, sir. Ugh. Dog food out of tins always made your dog unwell, did it? I can't remember what we feed the two at the minute. They're on they've been on the same stuff for years now. We tried all sorts. We were actually talking about it the other day because of an issue with like the eyes and sort of, I don't know, people were telling us it was like dyes and things in food that cause their tears to have this like almost red, almost blood-like colour to it. And I did some Googling and a lot of people said the same thing, but we tried all sorts of food that apparently didn't have that stuff in it and it made no difference whatsoever. So it just goes to show there's a lot of nonsense out there. And then all of a sudden, Cody's got these completely perfect white fur around his eyes, but Toby's still got like the red kind of colour around. So absolutely no difference. No difference in the exact same food day in, day out. So it's not all diet related, is it? You haven't slept since you messed up your sleep even more after I slept for around 14 hours yesterday from 1:45 in the morning through to 4:30 in the afternoon. I would be so ill, dude. Honestly, I would be so poorly if I did that, mate. If I sleep too much, it's worse than me having too little sleep. I'm just one of those people that just... if I have a sleep in the afternoon, Yeti, I feel terrible, dude. It's like everything goes foggy. I'm lethargic. My energy levels are like just zero. So sometimes I can even get a headache, and I hate headaches. I do anything to avoid it, mate. I always push through. No, he didn't. No, not at all, Mojo. Not at all. And in fact, we were talking about it yesterday evening, and the other guy that's playing it clocked in at about 7.5. So definitely not easy mode or anything, dude. Oh yeah, I know that well. No, I know that Wintex. No, Mojo and I was saying, Mojo was saying that the campaign was actually really good, kind of worth getting into, and I couldn't agree more. I'd love to, but I honestly thought it was like 11 plus 15 maybe hours or something like that, dude. You know, for a player like me, you know, if someone's saying it's about 11 hours, I could probably get about 15 out of it because I'd play it like really, really slow. Oh, that wasn't the discussion, Wintex. But yeah, the fucking between 6 and 8 hours for the two blokes that I know that have purchased the game. That's just no chance. There is no way I could afford to enter in at that point. Like I said, if it was 10 hours for most people, and you know, I could easily get an extra few hours out of that. I like sort of like looking around and watching all the cool things. I could consider it, you know, at a discount. I still wouldn't be able to afford it at like £50 anyway, but. What they did say, though, was it was fantastic. It was absolutely brilliant. The one guy very rarely even plays the single player. And he could, I mean, he was really, really, really complimentary about it. Absolutely enjoyed it. In fact, he even went so far as to say that he would play through at least one more time. Which is definitely outside of the norm for him. But yeah, nowhere near what I was being told in terms of length. You alright, Fizzgog? How you doing, bro? You alright, Corm? You alright, Dan? You go mining for your ammo production? That's what I do as well. Yeah. The multiplayer's really awesome. I was watching, is it Jared? Jared PvP? I don't know who that is on Mixer. I'm just comparing it to... Oh, I can't remember who it was on Twitch this morning, Wentex. I don't know who that Jared guy is. Got no idea, but he was like the top streamer on Mixer. And who the hell was I watching on Twitch? I can't remember his name. Someone pretty well known. But yeah, the mixer quality was outstanding. Absolutely outstanding. You did wake up with a headache, yeah. That's what happens with me, yeah. And it's the kind of headache that's just... It's not like incinerating pain or anything, but it's just a constant ache, mate. And like you, it can take me literally a day to get rid of it. I just don't sleep in the afternoon, dude. I long ago stopped doing that. Some of the lads like a doze after like a football or rugby match. You know, after I've watched it on the TV, because they have a fair few beers, normally have some food and snacks, and then they just pass out, mate, and then get back up and they're down the pub on a Sunday evening. I've never been able to do that, man. I just can't do that. If I doze in the afternoon, that's it. I might as well kiss goodbye 24 hours, mate. Yeah, that's it. War right. Is that what it's about? Yeah. Oh, I feel so bad. So bad. I know who you are talking about, Grum. Who's that? Who? Jared or? Don't the Z's come into the garage if there's no door? Not really, Mr. Ivan, because it's so far away. So even if they track me, they tend not to be able to get all the way across. To be honest, dude. Right, we'll drop that down there. 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 They can go back to the bike. Those can go in there. Bish, bash, bosh. We shouldn't have an egg in there, which means I'm missing something on the top row. We also have a spare wrench, so that can go in there. What am I missing here then, guys? Presumably 7.62 rounds is one of them. What's the other thing that I'm missing? We normally have hydration, healing. What am I missing? I'll tell you what I am missing. I'm missing a load of chrysanthemum. Got that in there. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll survive on that for a little bit. Let's go and drop that back. There's something I'm missing on that top row. Healing bandages. Just clicked. The first aid bandages, they call them. Perfect. Alright, so that's back to normal. So that's my normal loadout. We've got some extra juice. We've got the lockpicks. The sham can go back in there. We'll only use that for doing the big high tier 5s. We'll grab what little 9... Yeah, we really need to get... We're going to have to go mining, folks. I know it's not the most exciting thing, but if we're gonna keep the flow, we're gonna have to, aren't we? Alright, let's get some inventory management done. God damn it. Right, scrap. Boots. What have we got? Let's throw in
Hope
the
the coffee
there.
tastes great.
Thank you, Nomi. Thank you so much. I hope you don't mind. I'm not a drinker, mate. So that would be awesome, dude. That would be awesome. That literally sits so awesome. And every single coffee I have for the next X number of days will be on you, sir. So thank you very much. My early morning coffees as I come in on the stream. And thank you for the resub for 3 months as well. Thank you very, very much, mate. I appreciate it. Thanks ever so much. You're an absolute star, geezer. Thank you. You don't know me. Thank you very much, my friend. Right, let's get as much of this put away as we can, nice and quickly. We got some, hopefully, yeah, I could have just done with moving not the cosmetic, the first aid box over here, and then we would have been a lot more efficient on putting stuff away, to be honest. We're starting to get to that point where travel time from side to side is just a little bit on the icky side, isn't it? Ram that in there. That's going to go in there. Bric-a-brac. Scrap that down. Probably scrap that down. Don't really need that. That's going on the other side. What else have we got? That's going to go on the other side. So let's dink in water. We're going to have first aid. We're going to have the paper and the ammo box. We're going to have that in there. It's like a bloody mini game, isn't it? Inventory management in this. And then we're going to have tier 5 timber turret's going to have to go in there. Which means I might need to start thinking about scrapping some of that junk. Let's get rid of that as well. I'd like to keep the AK if I can. Tier 5 gloves can definitely go in there. Give it a shake. There you go. Nice little shake. And throw in the glass jars. Bish, bash, bosh. There you have it. So, what we are short on is 9mm rounds and 7.62 rounds. So we need to start ammo production for all of that. Let's have a look what the brass situation is. Let's stick all that in there. Oh, that's not good, is it? Thank you very much for the sub, you don't know me. Thank you very much, bro. You're an absolute star, sir. Lead's in there. Let's grab that. Chuck it all in there. Bullet tips. And then we'll throw that in there as well. All right, so let's have a look at the actual ammo box itself. So we have got some gunpowder. So we can probably make some more. I do like the 9mm for weekly shenanigans. I think what we'll do is we'll make 300 of that. And the 7.62s, if we can, we'll make another 300 of that. That's kind of like my normal. I think we're doing reasonably well with the hollow points, aren't we? In fact, let's just double check that. We want 300 hollow points. We want 300 armor piercings. So armor piercings okay, hollow points is okay. And we've got a reserve 300. I should probably make another 300 9mm rounds, to be honest. Let's shut that in there, that in there. That doesn't go there. Can I read it? Yes, I can. Let's grab that. Wrong click. That goes in there. Those go in there. That goes over there. And then we've got the lead tips in there. Alright. We're free to go. Let's go and hit a mine. I don't think we've got any choice, have we? And from what I can tell, unless I miss... box, we've got no nitrate and we've got no coal, like neither of them. So if we take... I still ain't got a level 3 pickaxe. Let's take 1, 2, 3. Well, let's take 5 repair kits. Why not? And we will take the shovel just in case we hit one of those crappy nodes. And we'll travel down to this one, I think. Let's go. Let's go. You're right, heck, man. You're excited. What are you excited for, sir? What's happening? What's it take to make the auger, and will it be worth a mining upgrade for you? No. Nah, not really, Carl. To be honest, I'm not a massive of auger mining. It's fast enough with the steel pickaxe, to be honest, dude. You know, the auger's going to be quicker, but to be honest, mate, the way I play and sip my coffee and all the rest of it, the auger's really just a pain in the ass for me, if I was to be honest with you. It's, oh god, we got a cop over there. This is where it'd be nice to have the, but we'll try and get a shot in with the bow, just so we're trying to conserve ammo as best as we can. Oh, you cheeky git. Oh, beautiful, Grimmy. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I can actually make quite a nice auger in theory, because we've got the large fuel tank that I can craft. Oh my god, Jesus balls. We've got the iron breaker mod, we've got the bunker buster mod, we've got the weighted head mod. I mean, we can make a pretty decent one, dude. But, and that sounds like a lot of Z's, which is making me think that we've got a screamer over here, which is actually bringing them in. Or maybe it's just a small wandering field. Wow. Where'd she go? Whoa, did I hit her accidentally and kill her? Huh. Oh, do arrows do? No, arrows don't do penetration, do they? It's just armor mitigation. Just for a minute, I wondered if my bow would shot the arrow through a zombie, but no. All right, so yeah, let's go and get the ammo done, and then we'll start, and then we'll move into electrics later, and we'll see if we can get a garage door or a drawbridge or something up and running, right? I'd just like to clear this area of Daphne's at least once a day. You never know. We don't want to keep not that heat map going too crazy, do we? Let's go. You like the mining? I like the mining, dude. I do like the mining. The only thing that I do want to do is I do want to cheat in, and we'll have to think of a way to do it legitimately as best as we can, even though it is using creative mode. I do want to bring some sand in to fix the desert mine. I'm really not happy with that. It's a shame we can't just add the sand block in ourselves. No, not yet, Joshua, but it'll be done in the next couple of days. I think, to be honest, we've got it done. I think I just need to actually put it together. Maybe I should have done that, actually, mate. And then we want to get a door on this. I think we're going to need to make this whole area 5 wide. We kind of guessed that, didn't we? I think 3, you might be able to jiggle it in there, but it's going to be a nightmare, so we'll have to make... We'll see how big the garage door is. We'll see how big the drawbridge is. We'll see how it works with power and switches and motion sensors, and we'll have a bit of a play, and if we have to remake it all, we'll have to remake it all. Now we've got the crucible, I'm not too fussed, to be honest. You're right, cool. After playing a little bit of Battle Royale, I have found I no longer like Call of Duty type games, i.e. die respawn. You die fast, you just don't hate Call of Duty, you just moved on. Oh, right, got you. Sorry, Cook. I didn't quite get my head around that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying. I've heard but nothing but awesome things about Call of Duty, though. Absolutely amazing things. I was watching the 2 streams I was on about earlier, and they were playing a mode where like each team gets a certain amount of lives. I don't know what the actual mode's called, but it was actually really strategic. It was actually really interesting listening to the team call out positions, and I'd never seen Call of Duty really played like that for a long time. It's like they were actually taking up positions to almost catch the opponents. So whenever I watch Call of Duty, it's normally people running around like really fast, You're just constantly moving. You know, if you stop moving, you're dead. And this was crazy. There were the people like, I mean, I don't know if they were actually going prone, but literally sitting there, and their teammates were essentially working together to flush them through. And then they just like pop, pop, just literally waiting for them. It was like actually really quite strategic. It was pretty cool to watch, mate. Have no idea if that's always been around, but I mean, most of my friends just play that constant, just round robin. You know, you kill someone, you die, you kill someone, you die, and then they start talking about their kill-death ratios and getting all upset. Seems to be where that mate goes most of the time, but yeah, the campaign looks freaking awesome. I've got to be careful because I do want to play it, and oh wow, what happened there? So in theory, we probably want to put a hatch on that one with some ladders, really, don't we? This is why I don't like this little bit over here. Mojo or Wednesday, I don't know if you're still in chat. Have you guys actually finished the campaign? I mean, it's so rare that I hear about anyone even talk about the Call of Duty campaign, and this year it just seems to be like the topic of conversation, like. Alright, one in there. Grab the hatch, throw that in there, and swivel that around. That's actually on the wrong way, isn't it? I think I can still get in and out. It just makes it a bit more tricksy, I think. Excuse me. Cold air to warm air. There we go. At least we've got a way in and out again. Yeah, we should be alright with that, shouldn't we? Okay, pop that back down. Team of the turrets loaded. We'll try and get some wood and backfill this if we don't play about with the... Oh, actually, I suppose I should really close that, shouldn't I? What are we getting from here? Is this the nitrate mine or... Is there actually even any ore in here? Come all this way. There's nothing there. What the hell? Oh, there's some nitrate. Oh, there, look. No. I'd like to say loads better, Bob, but not at all. I am honestly the aches. I've never known anything like it. It's like doing a personal best day at the gym, mate, and just waking up the following day just like absolutely in agony. It's every single muscle, joint, and bone is just on
COD
fire,
campaign was
bro.
awesome. Just a short. The Outer Worlds is still amazing. Long live good games.
Thank you for the bits, Cossack. Thank you for the bits. How long did Call of Duty campaign take you, dude? Did you keep a tag on it? The Outer Worlds. I did watch. I watched Rad Brad play. Oh my god, he's so bad at video games, but I love the man so much. Honestly, he was still. There's literally a counter down here, right? He's got a gun out, right? And there's a counter down here that said like 9 out of 30. And he was talking about it being the encumbrance because stuff has got weight in the game. And I'm thinking, what, really? Like that's normally like the ammo count, dude. And yeah, later on, it's like he suddenly he's so bad at computer games. He really is terrible at computer games. But he's my go-to watch. I just love the guy. Rad Brad and Tetra Ninja. And I did watch a little bit of Rad Brad yesterday. Yeah, Outer Worlds looks beautiful, dude.
Around 4 to 5 hours, give or take.
Wow, yours is even faster then. Jesus, dude. Wow. That is fast, mate. That is fast. Yeah, well, I mean, that's in line with what I was saying earlier. I mean, the two guys that I was talking to yesterday, they're not, you know, they're not pro gamers or anything, and they certainly don't rush their games. They only buy, well, in the one guy's case, the only games he buys are Call of Duty, Battlefield, FIFA, and I think the only other game he's ever owned that I can think of at some point was Halo. That's all. I don't think he buys anything else. Ever. so I suppose he's got a fair bit of experience with first-person shooters, but I think as a result of that, he does savour his time with them. Here's a question, right? They were talking to me yesterday. I was pissing myself. I thought, you're a pair of dickheads. You're making this up. Has anyone ever heard of the expression sweat? A sweat? Oh, he's just a sweat. Anybody heard that? Cossack, thank you for the bits, bro. Thank you for the follows as well. Who we got here? We got Jenny Mac and Alucard. Thank you very much for the follows, my friends. So after 3 days of fighting with virtual machines for class, everything is working. Now for games. Is it all going okay now, Quiet? I've not had a chance to really catch up with Discord, but I did skip through it on my phone, so I know you've been having a bit of a rough time. You barely started it, had a busy weekend, could fit in some LP games. The 32 oh, I didn't know there was 32 versus 32. So, oh, I'll have to see if I can check that out later, Wentex. So that sounds pretty cool. The guys were saying yesterday, this is weird, they were talking to each other about it more than to me, about how the game had a more Battlefield vibe in terms of its kind of general character movement. And to be honest, I was quite busy at the time, so I didn't really get a chance to say too much about it. But they were saying that it feels very, very different to your stereotypical Call of Duty. And I guess they were talking about just a general feeling of like weight, momentum, perhaps, is normally what I'd infer from a conversation like that, but... you put it down because of the server restart for Alpha. Oh, right. Well, at least you're enjoying 7 days ago, Mojo. The new Call of Duty does have a campaign. Yes, it does. Absolutely does, mate. Yeah. You need to get a copy of TOW. I don't know what TOW is. TOW. I'm sure we do know what it is, but... You're right, Hellcat. Your son called people sweats who will be playing against them in Fortnite. That's it! I've never heard the expression before. Yeah. I thought they were taking the piss. This is all. They were talking about Christmas and how like once obviously like all the kids that'll be getting it at Christmas are going to really struggle because of all the sweats that are going to be so like, you know, they're going to know everything about the game, you know, the maps, the tactics, you know, all the loadouts. Apparently the loadouts are crazy and they actually affect your movement or something, they were saying. Yeah, that was like, what are you on about? Sweats? What the hell's a sweat? And that's what it is. A sweat is used to describe somebody that just plays the game like proper hardcore. You know, putting in loads and loads of time. I'd never heard it before. I'd never ever heard the expression. That, you know, I thought I knew a little bit of the lingo in the FPS world, but I'd never heard that. A sweat. Oh, he's just a sweat. For sure they've been tweaking it. It feels a lot better and refined. I think that is what it could be. Less sluggish. Ah, right. Okay. Yeah, they were having quite an in-depth convo about that, but obviously with no point of reference, I can't really comment, I guess. So you had an official notice from your lecture that you're now working as a one-woman group, so it's going great now that you have all the power. Yeah, that was... I mean, I did sort of like read what was going on quite. I mean, that's that's a rough position to have been put into, isn't it? But you know, you've done the right thing. You've been open, honest, and transparent. And, you know, the other person's not around. They're not pulling their weight for whatever reason. You know, I mean, I'm not here to lay the finger of blame. Who knows? I mean, you probably know a lot more, but you know, at some point, you know, your lecturer or whoever it is who's grading the assignment is going to have to know, you know, the facts of what you're up against compared to everybody else, right? So, yeah, I mean, fingers crossed for you, mate. I hope it all goes well. I'm going to risk a meat stew. I'm just going to risk one. Come on, please don't give me food poisoning. Lovely jubbly, lovely jubbly. Looks like a good node through there, but we're going to get another collapse, aren't we? I don't think we're going to get around it. Yeah, it's nice to see you back enjoying 7 days, Mojo. I thought you'd very much given up on this game, to be honest with you. You haven't... Oh, sorry. Call of Duty was more console-like, which they changed to, and when Battlefield stayed the same, but they have now switched with Battlefield being more console-like. I don't know what you mean by console-like. That's not something that computes with me, unfortunately. You need to get a copy of The Outer World. Oh, right. The Outer World's got you. Yeah, I must admit, I've heard nothing but awesome things about that. I did watch Rad Brad just making a complete arse of himself playing it on his... It's so bad. It's so bad. But I guess that's what I like about him. It was only yesterday that I was actually talking about him. I hadn't actually realised he'd done like some VR stuff. So I didn't even realise he'd done anything with Facecam. And until yesterday, he's been doing it for years. But so him and Tetra Ninja, and the reason I watch them is mainly because they always have such incredibly high production values. Rad seems to be playing a lot of his games now on PC, but he plays with a controller, so it's always nice for me to see, you know, how responsive things are, I guess. But yeah, good stuff, man, good stuff. Looks like we got some good games. I mean, what's the rumors on Battlefield? I mean, I don't know what the last Battlefield was. I'm guessing Battlefield 5 was it, or was it what that Star Wars travesty? I mean, what's look at that, isn't that gorgeous? What's people's pre-release opinions on Battlefield? Because I think that's out this week, is it not? I know you mentioned it, Wentex. I've always preferred Battlefield, but it's from what you're saying, Mojo and Wentex there, and what I heard yesterday. Maybe Call of Duty's, you know, swung around a little bit. Battlefield 5 is out. New Pacific Theatre is out Friday. So is this year simply an expansion on Battlefield 5? I know nothing about it, Wentex. You'll have to forgive my naivety on this. It's the one area of gaming I tend not to read about, but I'm quite interested in it all this year. Battlefield 5, was that last year's release, or was that like literally just a few months ago, and now we've got like an additional update? Oh right, sorry, it's an expansion, yeah, but it's free though. Oh, wow. Okay. So, a question then. Is there no paid Battlefield this year then? Ah, now that's weird because I didn't realise that. I kind of just... So Battlefield 5 was this time last year, and this year there's no actual handover cash Battlefield. Wow. Jesus. That seems almost unimaginable from what I know about the franchise. Have they done that kind of thing before, have they? Jesus. A bit like when they first skipped that first year of Assassin's Creed. I was like, holy balls, you know, I'm used to having an Assassin's Creed every single year without fail, and then all of a sudden they skipped a year to sort of reinvent the whole IP, didn't they? And then this year they've skipped it again, haven't they? All started with, but was Battlefront the Star Wars one, Mojo? Was that the one, the big hoo-ha with microtransactions? My little Grim is showing, thank you. They have in-game currency for cosmetics, which you don't pay for, but the game is fun as hell. Is that the one that I watched you play when you did your like week of general Battle Royale goodness? Did you have a day with Battlefield? Or not, Wentex? I'm sure I watched you playing it because I remember you shooting at the planes with some sort of anti-aircraft gun, and it was just like amazing, and it just sounded incredible, and the tracer fire was just like out of this bloody world, mate. You're right, Burkills. You're right, Warroach. Thank you for that, mate. Firestorm was that their Battle Royale mode? Firestorm. And what was Call of Duty? It was Call of Duty Blackout or something. So something like that. Battlefront 2. Locked classes and guns behind loot boxes. Oh, right, okay. Was this that one where people kind of like worked out that if you actually bought all the things that you needed like to essentially complete the game, it was going to cost you like about $200 or something? And it's not a lot more, I'm sure. Jesus, mate. So one of the guys was saying his install, and I think this was on PlayStation 4.
Hello?
I think I could have got this completely wrong again. We were so busy, but I swear he said it was like about 160 plus gigabytes on the PlayStation 4 for this year's Call of Duty. Is that freaking right? I swear he said it was something like 150 or 160 gigs, something like that. Thank you for the follow, Burkills. Thank you. Blackout can die. It was pants. You didn't like that one then, Wednesday. So what was the curveball that you got thrown? There was one that I think you weren't necessarily looking forward to, but you ended up really liking it, didn't you? Which Battle Royale was that? I can't remember now. 120 gig for you, Wednesday. Is that on PC or is that on yours is presumably PC, right? Yeah, I swear he said that the PlayStation 4 version was like running at over 150 gig, and I'm sitting there thinking like, what? Even Arc, which is like terrible for everything, including compression. I think the last time I installed Arc, it was about 150 gig. They had the solo mode for it at the time, which was Lucky Apex. Ah, right, yes, because I thought that was actually a mode, but that was just a special kind of event or something, right? Wentex, I think you said. 129 gigs. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's freaking huge, right? I mean, that is monster for console, dude. Oh, it's Pappy Slappy, look. He's one of these funny fuckers looking chat who thinks it's funny to talk about Minecraft about this. God damn it, Pappy Slappy. You are gonna have to do better than that, mate. You are gonna have to do better than that. You really think you're the first person in chat to say that, ain't you? I can't believe you actually wasted literally mitochondria energy to type that out, bro. Just getting stuff for the ammunition at the minute, Smokey. So it's just need to get some mining done to get the nitrate and what have you. You're going to go for about 5,000 stack of nitrate, 5,000 stack of coal. 7 days to die is normally max price is about £19. Bottom price is about a £5. So you can nearly always get this game for about 5, 6, 7 or 8 quid, depending on where you go. And regularly for about £7 on Steam when it's on sale. Yeah, but that's what I'm doing, you see. I'm streaming, so my whole point is to engage with chat. And luckily, I'm blessed to have people like you that come in and talk drivelling nonsense.
COD
You're
128
right,
gig and 2 8 gig updates so far.
So 128 and a 2.8, and that's PC, is it, mate? Jesus. Mate, I'll tell you what, I guess I mean, I have to say, I mean, from what little I've seen of the campaign, it really does look absolutely freaking, the levels, they're just stunning. Absolutely stunning. There's just no doubt about it. $24.99. Yeah, don't pay that. If you're getting 7 days, don't pay $25 for it. It's absolutely worth $25, but you don't need to pay that, man. And I quite often say that if only they'd be more consistent with their price, I'd happily recommend it at the consistent price. But I know for a fact it will be on sale in a few days or weeks, and it'll be back down to about 7 or 8 quid. And I think if they were just more consistent with their charging policy, I'd be much more happy to recommend it. It's worth 40 quid. It's worth 50 quid. There really are very few games out there that even come close to what this offers, but I can't support, you know, a developer who is also their own essentially publisher, if you like. He just has such erratic pricing. You know, I can't, in all honest faith, support that. You know, be consistent. Value your game at what you value your game at. Don't bounce it, you know, almost a 25% fractional cost of what they have it some days. It just doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, I heard it up there. I wasn't sure about whether to go out. I think it was just a lone night wanderer, to be honest, Bob. I think we'll be alright. Oh, but we should have a countdown for the Minecraft comments. It seems to have dwindled a little bit. There's always one little special snowflake, though, isn't there? We should do like a snowflake countdown for it, and like give away a prize when someone comes in, you know? There is another part of the campaign that is currently locked to PlayStation 4. That's right, yes, because there was a bit of a hoo-ha over that, wasn't there? Yeah, it's timed exclusive, right? So you will get it in the end, though, Mojo, right? So I guess nothing, you know, you will have it. You just got to wait a bit, right? Wonder if it's even any good. You know what I mean? It could be a 10-minute thing. I seem to have run out. I actually seem to have run out. And let's keep going down. I have to see if catch a bit of YouTube footage of the PlayStation 4 exclusive single-player campaign content. It's on the Humble Bundle for about 7 quid. There you go, you see. There you go. It's, they should just lock the price in. You know, they've done themselves proud with this game. They should just say, look, you know, we're going to set the price at $14.99. That's it, $14.99. And the only time we're going to drop it is maybe during the Steam sales. And I'd happily do that. Or set it at $19.99. I don't care. Set it at $24.99. That makes no difference to me. As far as I'm concerned, the game's worth every penny, no matter what you pay for it. But I don't like the thought of someone leaving the channel here today, going pick it up for 20 quid and finding out it's 7 quid tomorrow morning. You know, it's just frustrating for a consumer, isn't it? Leads to a bit of buyer's remorse. And, well, Jesus Christ, you know, I could have saved myself $10 there, man. 12 gig now, is it? It used to be about 7 gig, this, didn't it? The spec ops, so 781 euros. Yeah, do it quick. Do it, mate. Go on. Give us a Minecraft. Oh, this game looks just like Minecraft, man. We had one in chat yesterday, didn't we? I had to actually ban his ass because he was being a bit of a bellend. They can, yeah. They can get through. I've only got some basic blocks. You can see I've already damaged the... What was that then? Did I just see something there? Yeah, they've already damaged the hatch, look. So they can get down here. I have got Timmy the turret up there, though. Sort of, hopefully he'll, at the very least, give me an audio warning that there's something about to nibble me bum. We should be okay. Is this game multiplayer or just co-op? It's everything. It's literally everything you want it to be. You can play it single player. You can play it cooperatively, just with one other friend. You can play with, you know, you're not going to play with hundreds of other people because I think you wouldn't be able to necessarily have the hardware to enable that. But you can play it PvP, you can play it PvE, you can play it PvPvE. You can have your own hosted server on your own hard drive if you like. It's on your own network, which other people can join. You can have a individual and private host, so it's running 24/7 if you want, like our sub server. You can do anything you want with it. It's another big tick in a box for this game, Burkills. And to be honest, it also works quite well in multiplayer, and always has done. I mean, there used to be a lot of issues with melee combat and zombies reaching for a lot further than you know they really should have been able to. But I think that's been largely improved. Well, that's not good, is it? Already in. Is Timmy? I think I'm too far from Timmy the turret for him to actually be active when I'm in that corner, aren't we? Oh, he's out of ammo. You're alright there, Timmy. What was that? Oh, that's the shale mine, isn't it? Now, that's the wrong hatch. Probably best not to go down that one. So yeah, it's a big selling point of this game actually. Easily overlooked. We've played a lot of games over the years where things have not been that robust. Empyrean Galactic Survival's one where I haven't actually played it in multiplayer yet, but I haven't heard the best of things about that performance-wise. So who knows? Where are we? Here. There. What's that, Wentex? MP isn't a thing, really. People don't usually do MP. You having a laugh? We talking about 7 Days to Die, Wentex? MP isn't a thing, really, Burkills, but it's possible. People don't usually do MP. What game are we talking about? Because we can't possibly be talking about 7 days, can we? This game's probably like... hardly anyone plays it single player. Everyone plays it multiplayer. It's hard to find someone that is playing it single player. That couldn't be further from the truth, Wentex. Seriously, mate. That could not be further from the truth, mate. Yeah, about 60 people. That's what I heard. Yeah, was it Bearded Guys Gaming? I think I remember them running with about 40 plus people on their server. It was absolute mayhem. But I think they're back playing it a little bit these days, aren't they? You don't see many people playing multiplayer other than co-op. You're confusing multiplayer with PvP. If you replace the MP with PvP, then I would understand the comment. But I should imagine nearly the entire player base of this play at least with somebody else on a multiplayer game over self-hosted. I think the only people that I know that kind of tend to play single player are people that are doing like permadeath runs and things like that, because obviously it doesn't lend itself very well to a server. But that's what you meant. I thought it might be Wentex. Yeah, I think you just gave Berkey with some really bad information there, bro. Yeah, PvP definitely. PvP is not a huge. I guess if you look at it in terms of the amount of the player base that hit PvP, it's fairly insignificant compared to the cooperative gameplay that we tend to see. But it doesn't mean to say you can't, but it involves a lot more effort, like Wentek says. It's you want to get into a good community that's got good PvP rules, that has good server admin, and then you can have some really good fun with it. I've never done it myself, but I would love to. I really would love to. At some point, I think we could come up with some really fun stuff, you know. Open the server up at very specific times and have all-out warfare between very specific times. We could even do things like, you know, capture the flag modes and stuff, couldn't we? All sorts of things we can actually work towards, but just getting the time to sort of think it through, right? And making sure we've got a player base that's kind of equitable team-wise, so we're not... Oh, shit balls! Well, that's not good. I can see the aim's not going to be on point again, so... Wow. Oh, well, that is about as bad as it gets. I swear to God, if you pop, I'm going to be very unimpressed, mate. Thank God for that. Permadeath PvP is scary. How would you do that? Is that just say but essentially that's last man standing then, yeah? Any way I can think of that working. I think they've done a couple of events. Some of the streamers do things like that, don't they? Is it like a CB and a few of them all get together and do like so they actually have like a commentary team over it. I think did they not do a charity event last year? Oh, I didn't actually mean to put it on that way, but that'll do. I was a bit concerned when I saw that zombie cop then. That could have gone very, 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 very horribly wrong. Right, now we need coal, don't we? And my coal mine is, you guessed it, all the way down there. So let's shoot across. Let's go and grab the bike. Where are we? Let's set a waypoint down there. It will travel by road. Yeah, those police zombies, you can probably hear, you won't know what it is if you've not seen them before, but they make like this, you can almost hear a soundbite that makes it sound like they're rumbling along almost as if they're running, and they are, and they start charging towards you, and if you don't do a little bit of additional damage to finish them off, they explode, and they do a lot of damage. I'm not sure, it's just permadeath, well, I'm not sure what you mean then, dude. So, is it permadeath? You can't have permadeath PvP without, like, other players, right? So... Did I leave Timmy? Oh my God, I left Timmy. You kidding me? Did I legit? Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I'm such a bad baddie. I'm so sorry, Timmy. I'm so sorry, Timmy. We'll just pretend we were, out killing some zombies that were, sneaking up on him, alright? He'll be alright, don't you worry. Cheers, Jaboshua. You're watching Dr. Gluon playing 7 Days to Die multiplayer, 4 players. Yep. I think most people that play multiplayer, dude. It's a lot easier multiplayer right up until you get to the Horde Nights. That didn't used to be the case. Horde Nights now, I have a feeling in multiplayer, from what I'm hearing, you get an escalated game stage, which means you really need to be playing well together to make sure everyone's got ammo and everything at their disposal. And of course, the problem with more players is you've got more people that can cock up the shot on a demolisher. So I think multiplayer has actually kind of almost been turned on its head. Multiplayer is infinitely easier outside of Horde Night. It just exponentially just becomes an easier game because you can divvy up the duties. You've always got somebody working on something. You know, you just have so much more freedom of time. Plus, you've got, with the new skill system, it means you can have everybody specializes and you can have all the gear being banged out so much faster. And they're aware of that, so that they've definitely, from what I'm hearing, changed something to do with that algorithm for game stage calculation for multiplayer servers. We're hearing about people getting multiple demolishers very, very early on. Because the game stage is rocketing up so fast. And like I said, I think some sort of multiplier being thrown in there. So at least I've tried to balance multiplayer a little bit. Because I mean, before it was a walk in the fucking park game. Let's go down there. Before it was a bit more ecky, you know, you essentially got... It felt like you all, you know, if you were all together, you all had your own little horde. You know, it was down to you to kill that X number of zombies that was allocated to you. And, you know, yeah, of course you'd see things coming a little bit earlier than in single player. But I think with the manic nature of hordes, with the police mixed with the demolishers, it's multiplayer. I wouldn't want to be on a multiplayer server, I tell you, defending one of these builds that I've got. It's bad enough on my own, knowing how easy it is to get a stray shot that's going to completely destroy me. I would not want to be playing with other people. I'd have to do a completely different build. I just don't think this thing is built for that. You could risk it for a biscuit with a 4-channel one for 4 players. But, I think that's about as far as you're going to push it, to be honest. I think you'd split up to begin with, Dan. I think, to be honest, the first, like, 7 days, you'd probably all split up and go looking around the server. That's going to keep your food and everything going. And then once somebody finds a decent area to live, you'd all just flop back in, wouldn't you? By which point, you'd probably all gained a few levels to start investing in things. You know, you'd probably get your first crop plots up and running nice and early as well. I should, or at least that would be what my plan. Don't forget, it's if you can all find a trader, you know, if you're lucky and everyone's, you know, even if only 2 people find one shared trader, all that lovely tinned food, mate. And of course, you know, you can do quests together, Dan. You can literally share the quests. You know, you can just go into a tier 1 as a team, just destroy it, and you will get the Duke's tokens. You will get the, you know, the rewards. It's like fucking easy mode, bro. But you've got to, you know, that's offset by the fact that multiplayer horde night is now. that's gonna be rough, bro. Right, we'll go to that flag, I think. I've got one, I think, Gigaton. I'm pretty sure I've got I always try and keep a full stack on there, or near as damn it. Yeah, I've got one. Very rare I don't have a full stack of 25 on there. Yeah, go to a large ostrich hotel or something, Kyle. I should imagine would be your best. But it depends if you want to engage, though. It's like I said. I was speaking to Tommy. Tommy was on Twitter. Aries from the Twitch channel of old. We built him like this kind of Roman temple many years ago, and he actually said like he finds the hordes boring, and I just thought you've just not played the game, have you, mate? It's backseat gaming at its finest. It's unless you're there waiting for those demolishers and police to come in a cobblestone build, and it's like I said to him on Twitter. I think honestly people are delusional sometimes. They do you remember the mosh pit? A whole alpha. I don't even know what alpha it fucking was. Every single horde night was the mosh pit, and all we used to do was shoot down on the reds and kill them all. That was it. That's what we used to do. No one used to bitch and moan about that. Oh, fuck it. Exactly the same thing. Big lump of concrete with a rail around it. Shoot down on the reds. Kill them all. And now, apparently, the builds that we've got here, where we get loads and loads of zombies, we can see them better. It's more fun actually playing it. You've got the demolishers coming in. You've got a constant threat that you can't use turrets. Blah, 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 blah. Apparently, it's boring now. It's boring. It's boring. Cry me a fucking river. Loads better now. It's infinitely better. Horde Night is... I actually look forward to Horde Night now. Used to find it more a hindrance, a handicap. It was basically inconvenient Horde Night, and now I can't wait to see it demolish. No, we don't want tier 6 craftable lizard. No. Keep that so you've always got a reason to keep looting. I got a tier 6 compound bow yesterday from a tier 5 quest lizard. It was kind of nice to see that. It means you do need to do tier 5 questing, you know, as another option to get tier 6. I definitely would introduce that back, 100%. Depends on how much you trust your friends, Dan. See, the problem is it's not about whether people are good or bad. The problem is because you've got multiple people shooting the same zombies, it's really hard to read the reaction, Dan. So me saying that I wouldn't want to do that build with other people isn't because I don't have faith in the other people. I don't have faith in me, dude. See, when I hit a zombie now, I kind of know, and I'm, you know, getting to know the shrug and stun time. So if I hit a demolisher, I kind of know, he's got a couple of reactions he's going to take, you know, on that build. You know, sometimes, you know, I'm going to be unlucky, he's going to slip off. Other times, you know, he does the old hold his head in his hands, ducks down. And, you know, you get to learn to predict what happens after you've shot a zombie. Now, the problem is, if I'm just about to shoot a demolisher in the head... Oh, Jesus balls! Oh, my God, that scared the crap out of me. What the dick balls? Oh, my God, dude. Chills down my spine. Holy balls. Unbelievable. What a knob. Yeah, if I'm just about to take a shot at a demolisher, and let's say Mojo's standing next to me. Mojo's just shot it. And he crouches down or he glitches out and goes up. I'm going to end up hitting the freaking charge. Do you know what I mean? It's so much more unpredictable when you've got other people shooting zombies. And it's like that all the time. If I'm here now, like, I can go, right, bang, he's dead. Bang, he's dead. If I've got another player who's also doing the same thing, as soon as I take this shot, he might already be in his, like, down, prone, or his stun, or his rage mode. And it just becomes a lot less predictable. So multiplayer Horde Night is definitely harder. A lot harder in Alpha 18, in my opinion. But like I said, it's about fucking time. It's about time they did that. Because otherwise Horde Mode was just, you know, you just had a few zombies of your own to kill, but everyone was working together. You know, everybody had access to everything really early on. Ammo production. You could just have one person allocated to do some ammo production each week. Take it in turns. Thousands and thousands of rounds available, you know? Do tier 5 quest for quality 6, that's right, yeah, that's what I did yesterday, wasn't it? We got, I was really hoping for a shotgun lizard, but I ended up getting a bloody compound bow, the one weapon I can't use, dude. Yeah, I disagree, Lizard. I think you and I just come at this from completely different, I think they have to keep something as loot, and tier 6 is perfect. See, the problem is that everyone makes out like tier 6 is like the holy grail. It isn't. You're just as well off with tier 5. Tier 6 is just a nice little bonus increment. So have it as that constant reward for still playing the game, for doing risky stuff instead of just like literally easy moding it, getting 16 tier 1 bows, scrapping them all and making a tier 6 out of it. I just say at no place, at no point ever will I support in any way, shape or form in the vanilla game tier 6 being... I don't think you should even be able to buy tier 6. The only way you should get tier 6 weapons is from questing, in my personal opinion. End of story, case closed, no discussion beyond that. It's it will kill the long-term game for a lot of players. You need something to keep you working towards, otherwise it will just turn into Alpha 17. Just, you know, you get purple, you get bored, you fuck off, you've got the perfect sniper rifle. You know, I'm looking forward to doing more tier 5s in the hope I sometime get a shotgun. You know, one day I'll get it and I'll be happy. No, I just disagree, Lizard. I think it's just an overcomplication. I just don't agree. At no point should you be able to get tier 6 through anything that just involves a grind. Outside of grinding tier 5 quests. Get out there, get your feet dirty. You want the best of the best, you gotta go, you gotta engage. Yeah, they do that. I'd remove them from the trader. I would honestly completely remove the tier 6 from the trader. Outside of quest rewards. The only way I'd be willing to go for tier 6 in a grind format was if you could earn some sort of currency from tier 5 completion, which would enable you to invest them to get a specific tier 6 item. So rather than getting completely random items from tier 5 quest completion, so, you know, I could do 100 tier 5 quests and I'd still be waiting for the shotgun. Because, you know, sometimes it'll give me a compound, it might give me a pistol, it might give me a bloody pickaxe, you know? So maybe I could say, okay, look, I don't want to reward this time. I'm not going to be able to... That's bad. I'm not going to be able to see what the reward is. I can just say, look, I don't want to know what you're going to give me. I just want to take a currency. I want to take a token. And maybe allow me to build those tokens up. So if I do, like, say, 5 successful tier 5 quests, I have 5 tokens. And then I can choose a tier 6 product. I might even do so I can only choose tier 6 weapons or tier 6 tools, and it still randomizes it to some degree. Or I can invest 10 tokens and choose specifically a weapon and the type of weapon. That's the only way I'd do it. The only way I'd do it. I think this game is a loot game, and I think, to be honest, I think that's the way the fun pimps are seeing it as well. I think I'm starting to tune into it. They want you to get out there. They want you doing stuff, not just stockpiling crap and eventually converting it into really good things. I think one day they might even make it so we can craft tier 6 and add legendary weapons into the game. I think that would be a really good driving force for it, personally. I mean, each to their own. You know, you obviously want it, Lizard. I very clearly don't, you know, so... It's just two different play styles. I like the fact that if I've got a tier 6, I've had to fucking work for it. And I mean work for it. You know, the chances are I've done tons and tons of scavenging. Or I've done tons and tons of questing. As opposed to just, you know, grinding cash. Let's be honest. I tell you what, Lizard, if the trader wasn't so fucking broken, in my opinion, then I'd be up for it. But I know the tricks to get thousands and thousands of Dukes tokens on a daily basis. So that makes a mockery of ever being able to buy anything anyway. Can't you wrench them out though? Can't you wrench solar panels? You right, Chucky Put? How you doing, mates? How's things? How's Mr. Hashi? How's your Alpha 18 adventures going? Has he managed to kill your trader yet? In Valmod, they had legendary weapons. They work well. Always a chance to find them in loot, but still really rare. After hundreds of hours, only getting 2 to 3. That was quite fun. And what sort of weapons were they? Were they unique in what they did, or were they just like superior stats, for example? I mean, I could see legendary weapons being introduced, or maybe stop calling them legendary. Maybe for me, maybe if I said like epic weapons. So reintroduce back, you know, maybe a solution for Lizard would be reintroduce back tier 6, but then allow the equivalent of a tier 7 epic, and the tier 7 epics actually come fully modded out. Best in class stats, best RNG stats you can possibly get, 100% guaranteed, and equipped with mods. And then maybe have a legendary version of those where it actually is a percentage plus over the epic. So you know, I mean, I don't know what the max you can get on an AK is, like 44 rounds. Maybe the epic comes equipped with all those mods, you know, all the good mods that you'd expect to find on a pretty pimped out AK. They could even add variety to that, so you could have the anti-rad one, you know. Might be 3 epics, all in the AK range. One's got the anti-rad on it, one's got like a super duper scope on it. They all have extended mags, perhaps, etc, etc, etc. And then have a legendary one that's got some really cool base stat bonuses. So if the best size mag in the game for an AK is let's just say 44, there could be a legendary version that actually has 50. And you know, it's not gonna radically change the game. You know, the chances of you getting all the legendary items, I think, are pretty few and far between. Like you're saying there, Wentex, even after many hours, you might not even find one. And I think that solves my problem about keeping me interested. You know, I want to keep knowing that if I keep doing questing, if I keep going out and looting, I still have always got the chance of getting something. The second you make that craftable, or you make it grindable or 100% guaranteed, which is why I'm not a massive fan necessarily of the token suggestion that I came up with, it takes away the longevity. It takes away that sense of continuing after I might otherwise have given up. You know, there's a lot of people that love playing the game. Yeah, I'll still do my creative builds, but I'll still have the drive of loot. You know, on my day, it was the problem with Minecraft. In Minecraft, I can sit there, I can build for 7 hours a day. That's about fucking all I can do. You know, I might do a little bit of spelunking. That's about as exciting as scratching your own ballsack after you've already scratched it 3 times in one day. The novelty wears off a little bit. So, you know, if I can actually go out and do a little bit of, you know, tier 5 questing and have that chance, that chance of something better dropping, that eureka moment, that yeehaw moment, you know, We like that. You know, gamers like that RNG chance, don't they? As soon as you make it, you can 100% guarantee it through whether it's crafting or something else. It takes away the magic. It takes away the magic of looting. We'll all be back at base camp like we used to in Alpha 17 doing absolutely fuck all. Just sit there. Just sit there in Alpha 16 in particular. Just sat there. You know, you had the mechanic one. You went and wrenched one car, got 3,000 fucking engines out of it. I think the fun pimps are trying to drive us out. And I think I support that. I think I do support that. In Alpha 17, you could wrench solar panels from the broken banks, but they removed that before Alpha 17 became stable. Alright. You've heard that Tier 6 will become legendary, and also that there will be a Tier 7 in the forums. Rather confusing. What, is that from the devs themselves, or is that just theory crafting folks like myself just bouncing ideas around? I think unique. One was a legendary wrench, one was a skull on a stick. All right, yeah, see, that's cool. I mean, proper legendaries then. Yeah, I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, like I said, I never know if the vanilla game can add those kind of things, but I suppose that would be a happy medium to sort of resolve, like, you know, what a Lizard would like to see and what I'd like to see. It's interesting. You know, the game, you know, at the end of the day, the mods are going to do all this. I have no doubt there will be a mod that will introduce Tier 6 crafting, and I probably won't play that mod. You know, it removes the driving force for me. But each to their own. I mean, this is the whole point, isn't it? There's no right or wrong to this. You know, everyone's going to have a way to play it. You know, I handicap myself quite severely with the trader because I just find the trader completely just bullshit. Shocky, you love the trader, don't you, Shocky? You absolutely adore it. You know, that's your play style. Ashy, not such a fan of it. But that you know, that's the beauty of it. The only time I struggle with that is obviously multiplayer. See, I've lost count on the number of times we've played multiplayer, especially in the Alpha 14-15 days. And you know, someone would jump onto the server and like 3 days into the game, could come and say hello to me at my build, and they've got Tier 6 everything because they've just used. I mean, I'm not gonna say too much, but I know for a fact one gentleman was duping the shit out of everything, making millions of Dukes tokens at the traders, just doing round robin at the traders, and just getting all the best gear. You know, that you actually impacted on my fun on a multiplayer server doing that. I don't want you to be the dude on Horde Night that's killing fucking everything because you've got infinite ammo and all the best AKs available in the game, and you've literally got a tool belt with 4 of them on it, so you don't even need to stop to reload. And there's me with my bow and arrow. You know what I mean? You are literally directly impacting on my fun with that. Is that Taz's axe? Was it Taz's axe or something like that? Yeah, could be, couldn't it? No, not really, dude. No, this is actually a pretty weak level 3 steel. All I've got is Bunker Buster and Iron Breaker on it, mate. So no, it's not actually very good at all, dude. But they do last a while. Yeah, they're pretty durable, these things. I could get the serrate, the diamond tips, or whatever it is, the diamond tips serrated blade, which doesn't make sense for a pickaxe, but I'm pretty sure you can put it on it and double its durability. So they have fixed a lot of the dupe methods. I can still tell you for a fact there's 2 that I can evidence right now, but I'm not going to. I don't spread the love on duping. there are still ways to single player dupe, and it don't take you long to find them. Pretty sure Madmol talked about 6 becoming legendary, but I believe there was talk about adding another tier 2. Oh, right, cool. So Madmol himself is discussing this. Yeah, I wasn't privy to that, GG. Thank you. Cool. Well, whatever. You know, whatever. I think, to be honest, I'm firmly back in the boat of whatever the fun pimps do now. I'll take it. You know, it's. I think they've proven to me once again after a horrendous Alpha 17 that whatever they come up with, in the long run, might work out all right. You know, I still don't believe for 1 second. I think anyone that suggests it is fucking delusional, quite frankly. That Alpha 17 really was the stepping stone for Alpha 18. It may have been in terms of engine and refining systems, cleaning up code to preempt the future for Alpha 18, but things like that death penalty and all that, the stamina, well, what an absolute load of tosh. That was them fucking up their game. That wasn't a preemptive strike for Alpha 18. That was just like a fuck up, complete and total fuck up. But who cares? That's in the past. I don't need to talk about Alpha 17 anymore. Alpha 18's out, and Alpha 18 is fucking amazing. Right, Gigason, here's some thought. Each trader has a level as well, which increases with the player's quests. Okay, so it's individual to the player, right? All crafting stations at a trader are unlocked for use. As you level your trader, you can pay rent and dukes to spend each night, which increases in cost as the trader levels. Weapons are ultimately disabled on trader properties, so you can't cheese it. I'm really confused. So as you level up, why would we want that? I'm not sure I'd like that, Gigaton. See, as I level up, I'm going to get access to make these crafting benches anyway, right? So why do I need to now introduce a mechanic with the trader to rent workbenches? You can find them pretty easy anyway, right? But are you saying that I could pay to spend the night at the trader to be safe? And I could also spend money to stay a night at the traders on Horde night? Is there like two elements there? I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I wouldn't want it in the vanilla game. For a mod, that could be an interesting way to make the trader more of a hub. Potentially. I mean, they've done some interesting stuff with traders. I mean, I think Ravenhurst made it so that traders actually were in towns, weren't they? And they could also actually be attacked. So, that they weren't invincible, if you like. Yeah, I mean, I think there's merit for discussion there, and the same with Lizard with the tier 6 crafting. But I don't want to see it in the vanilla game. And I think that's firmly in the realms of the mods. Well, you can just drive around on a mini bike if you want with Dano. There's so many ways to avoid the Horde night. Easy peasy. You can avoid the Horde night on single player. You can just go and find a massive fucking PO1 and sit on the roof. Easy peasy, mate. They can't smash them that easily. To be honest, you can just run around clubbing them to death as long as you can keep stamina up for the early Hordes, can't you? Getting your gyrocopter to fly from roof to roof. I mean, it's easy to avoid the Horde if you really, really, really want to. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be against the idea of having a safe haven for some players. But even work well on a multiplayer server. There's nothing worse on a multiplayer server than logging in and finding out, oh my god, some assholes Horde logged. I've got like 2 minutes before Horde night. You know, if you could make it to the trader and quickly get in there, yeah, I could see the merits of it. But I wouldn't. Like I said, I wouldn't want it in this. I wouldn't want it in the base game. I don't think. Yeah, so I'm thinking the same, Chucky. I'm literally trying to think of what it offers me as a player. And I think you're right with the nomadic, you know, trader to trader. Yeah. I think my implementation, I think Hashi mentioned it a while back, Chucky. I'd rather see an implementation for the nomads of some kind of vehicle. Like a small camper van. That is reasonably small, but when you park it up, you actually could use it as a mobile base. So, almost like you do with a quest marker or something. And when you click it, it's representative of you unpacking the camper van. And you get a bedroll, you get a campfire, you get a small forge, you maybe get a workbench. But this would all be mods within the camper van. So the same way that we've got mods for a 4x4 vehicle. You would add these things to the camper van, and you would end up with I mean, that would be a mod I would love to work on. So we'd have to invest in the camper van asset. We'd have to invest in when you park it up and you interact with it, you have a series of options, and one of them is to unload the van, and it essentially clears out an open space. You know, whether it be 5x5 or whatever it is. And I'm not sure how difficult that would be. Maybe you'd have to park it on reasonably flat land, otherwise you risk the whole thing collapsing. Who knows? That's more code and game mechanic sort of worries. I mean, I'm just there to throw an idea out. But I kind of like that. You pull up near the trader, unload your camper van, and you've got a place to spend the night. But you have to actively defend it. But you could even have defenses built into it as well. You could have multiple Timmy the turrets that are all part of mods So as you progress through, you know, you will get zombies attacking, but you've got automated turrets. You might even be able to add a ring of barbed wire around it, which automatically gets placed. The thing is, then you start. The only downside with that is it's a completely different game, and again, that's why I think it would be a mod. It would be specifically done for a nomadic playthrough. You know, it would be done for that. So in other words, you wouldn't be spending as much time digging, but you might have to, you know, the beauty of the game at the minute, and I think this is the only reason why this is now viable, is because there's so many surface nodes. So as you're traveling around in your camper van, you might have 1 or 2 of you in it. You know, if you go past the little coal node, you just stop off, and you just stop off for 5 minutes. You don't dig a big bloody hole like this. You just stop off for 5 minutes and grab, you know, that couple of hundred that you need to make the ammo that evening. It could work. It would have a lot of work, and it would be a very, very different base game. But I think it would be an interesting one. I think anything that encourages nomadic playthrough would be. I think there'd be a big chunk of the community that would like that. I could certainly see a little Grumbodian posse all with our own little mini camper vans, you know, if they can't. I'd like it if we could all get into the one camper van, but I'm not sure if there's any restrictions on how the game works to get 3 or 4 people in a single travelling entity without, you know, the game completely cocking up, but... You want a battle bus? I was just saying about the camper van, actually. You've gone from a camper van to a bloody battle bus. You don't want a lot, do you, mate? I'll just get you a fucking tank next. The battle bus with turrets, yeah. RVs would be awesome, but would have to be magnets to some degree to offset. Yeah, well, I think that's what I'm saying about making it so that it's almost like maybe instead of having a horde. What I was thinking, Chucky, instead of having a horde night, you could completely rethink the way the game's balanced. So in other words, when you pull up in the camper van, you actually have some action every single evening, and that ramps up with game stage. And it's about making sure you've got the defenses. You know, tier 1 could just be, you know, 7 or 8 blocks out. There's a line of barbed wire. You might be able to add like Timmy the turrets in 4 prime locations, and it's all predetermined. You don't actually go and place it. Don't know. I don't even know if it's possible. Dead Island, when we last spoke about it, Dead Island was a game. There was, I think it might be Dead Island Riptide, where there were a couple of sections where you had to do a base defense, and you went and, you know, there were predetermined slots where you could put a turret, predetermined spots where you could put a Gatling gun or barbed wire or a chain link fence. A little bit like maybe State of Decay style. I think there's definitely something there, but it would be such a huge undertaking. I can't see it ever really happening, but doesn't stop us having some fun with the ideas, does it? I think there's tanks in it. Actually, people have actually already got tank assets in there, dude. They've already got them there, mate. Whether or not you can actually have a tank that fires a big freaking rocket or whatever it is out of the... An MCV. Is that a mobile command vehicle? That's what it would end up with. That's what you'd end up after hundreds of hours of playing. You'd end up with essentially the battle tank. Yeah, a mobile command vehicle. Yeah. You can even have it so the mobile command vehicle has like little motorbikes that come out of the back of it for day-to-day roaming. That'd be freaking awesome. So yeah, you essentially you'd have to defend the RV every single night. You know, like I said, it would be an app. You know, the zombies for miles would be hearing it traveling around, and you know they'd always be homing in on it. You wouldn't have like the same devastation as a horde night, but you would have to actively defend it. I still want drones. Someone just mentioned drones. I still want drones in the base game. I want a little remote controlled drone so that I can actually send it into a room to have a look around and then bring it back out. That'd be awesome. I like anything with remote controls. That's all I care about. I just want a drone. I just love any. You give me a drone in a game, in the same way as if you give me a helicopter in a game, and I'm there day one, mate. What's this, Daiko? What's this, dude? Let's have a look, mate. How you doing, mate? How's Outer Worlds going, bro? Oh, that almost looks like... What is that? That looks amazing. Is that from a game? That was tiny on my screen, mate. It's like the size of a fucking postage stamp. Yeah, whatever that is, yeah. One of them. Can I have a drone that comes out of the roof, please, Daikoi? With a sliding panel, and the drone comes out, and I can take it out. Exactly, Tinto, and that's it. This is exactly what we're talking about. This is the joy of mods, you see. This is why people, people like Lizard, for example, has got some really nice ideas about how he'd like to see the game changed. And it's not that I'm disagreeing with him. I just don't necessarily want it in the vanilla game. I think a lot of the suggestions, and Lizard, is really focused on, what he likes in the game, and so am I, and so are other people. So some people love the guns, so some people love the building, and I think the modding community, they change the game. But I'm not drawn to those. Weirdly enough, although I'm sitting here saying how much fun this sounds, weirdly enough, the more a game deviates from the base game of 7 days, the less interested I get. I like my vanilla 7 days. I always have done. And that's why I started playing so many mods, I think, because I felt like it was losing a bit of direction. And I hardly played vanilla Alpha 17, really, compared to the previous alphas. My time spent with Alpha 17 was much reduced. Alpha 18... honestly, I don't really want any changes. I'm loving it as it is. There are things that I'd love to see added, but right now I'm not after, this super different experience. I've hardly scratched the surface of this yet. You're right, Lizard. I think that by increasing by a lot the amount of parts needed to craft the tier 6, the need to loot would remain and people would not be making stupid amounts of money by selling unused weapons and armor. What do you think? I still don't like it. I just don't like it, Lizard. Because it means I'm not having to do difficult content. I can get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of bow parts just by looting really simple POIs, mate. Because all the bows all give me the same number of parts, don't they? As far as I know, anyway, mate. So a tier 1 bow gives me 3 bow parts. A tier 6 bow gives me 3 bow parts. So I don't need to do any challenging content the way you've sold it to me, unless I've misread it, mate, to get the best in the game. I can even go to the trader and buy shit level bows for a couple of 100 tokens, scrap them, get the parts, and then go make my tier 6. So until you can counteract that, I can't see a way of doing it, dude. And that from the movie Stripes. It's the EM50 urban assault vehicle from the Bill Murray movie Stripes. Jeez, you know what? I honestly thought it was a Fallout asset. I thought it was from a game. At level 5 turret spec, you could replace Timmy with a hover drone that follows and works like a companion. Aggressive, defensive, passive modes. That would be freaking awesome for a mod, Gigaton. That would be freaking awesome. Gigaton, we were talking probably a couple of 3 weeks back now about Predator. Do you remember the Predator shoulder locked rocket launcher? I mean, who wouldn't want one of those, dude, right? You see that demolisher coming in, you just click a button and that's it. Your shoulder mounted freaking drone pops out, or your rocket launcher. Oh, a sight to behold, sir. I can barely run the vanilla game at medium at 30F, so I have no hope for mods. You got to be careful with that comment, Tintable. We were, in fact, literally on yesterday's stream, we were discussing this. There was a mod, and it's one that I'm always very appreciative of. It's given me a lot of fun times and certainly a lot of food for thought, and kind of learnt a lot about how, the game can be changed and modded. Is Ravenhurst. Now, Ravenhurst, I can't speak for the more recent iterations because I haven't really played them, but I think it was Ravenhurst 2 and 3, which primarily, I think, was Alpha 16, unless I'm mistaken. Their mod actually ran better than the vanilla game did. Straight up, out of the box, if you installed Ravenhurst, you would have a better frame rate than you would in the Fun Pimps version of the game. Now, there were some issues with it. So, for example, you did pay a bit of a price for a bit of lag in opening up the crafting menu. But I think what they'd done was they'd essentially kind of reduced the little things. And I'm sure they did lots and lots of optimization tweaks with some of the POIs, for example. But they also, like, for example, just reduced the amount of grass that was in the game. And to be honest, you didn't really notice it. But it had such a performance impact for so many people. So you never know, dude. You never know. Always check out the mods, because some of them do a lot more than just add cool shit. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know if Ravenhurst is still doing things like that. I know my last playthrough, it was... I definitely had some serious performance impact with it. It's... well, it wasn't massive, but it wasn't as smooth as my vanilla game. But... yeah, you know, never just assume a mod is going to be more difficult to run. I mean, obviously some of them are just going to be like almost to the point of absurdity. And that's why I always get a little bit disheartened on the forums where someone will pipe up, you know, well, such and such a mod did it. And Starvation did a lot of things that I've never seen to this day. But Starvation, if you didn't have 16 gig of system RAM, you weren't playing Starvation, mate. You really weren't. And, you know, the fun pimps have to work to those hardware parameters that they set all those years back. You know, they can't suddenly turn around and say, ha ha, screw the entire player base. You now need 32 gigs of RAM to play our video game. So the fun pimps have got parameters within which they need to work. The modders don't. The modders can go crazy. If you can't play it, tough titty. You know, you're not paying for it, are you? You alright, Uncle Sam? How you doing, bro? Thank you for the follow, Rope. Who else we got here? We got Cloaked Gamer, S-Bands, Nick Larsa, and Rope. Cossack, thank you for the bits earlier, mate. Thank you for the double whammy of bits. In fact, triple whammy. Triple whammy, Cossack. Thank you. I think I missed one of those. Right, should we have a quick look at this knobber in here and just see if he's got... Nah, I tell you what, let's not bother. We've got other things we need to worry about. Right, lead. Where's my lead mine? It's quite a way. Yeah, I'd have to rethink that, Lizard. Yeah. I still think, see, I don't like the arbitrary suggestion of you keep picking away. You keep picking away and you get it in the end. I think that works in some games. In fact, you'll have heard me many times, Lid, in some games, especially MMOs, I'm all for that. I think, you know, if you've put 1,000 hours into a game to try and get that one bit of kit and you just keep getting shitty dice rolls, that is infuriating. That is infuriating, mate. And I'm a big believer in some games that every time you fail that dice roll, next time you've got a slightly better chance. You know, I think in some games that sense of your... All right, I didn't get it this time, but next time I've got a 1% better chance of getting it. You know, or however it works, you know, a 0.1% better chance. And I think that to a player that helps you. It gives you that sense of I will get there in the end, but it could still take me forever and ever and ever and ever. And in some games that makes sense. I just don't think it does in this game. I really don't. I think you know, I hearken from an era with the Crucible, and I spent weeks looking. Sorry, Crucible. Calipers. I literally spent weeks looking for calipers, mate. In game. And the feeling of satisfaction I got when I finally got it, I will never forget. If I just bought them, or you know, managed to just, you know, smelt X, Y, and Z down, you know, even if it took me half an hour to get it, it takes away the sense of, I don't know, satisfaction you get out of playing a video game. You know, even World of Warcraft, you know, I think in some cases, you know, with faction reputation grind, you know, they work on those systems. There's always an incremental sense of progression. But, you know, if you're after the Thunder Fury, be ready to fucking put in some work, mate, you know? I don't, it's, you know, two different play styles, man. Neither one's right, neither one's wrong. It's just, you know, it is just what it is, isn't it? But the beauty of it is, if any of us really don't like something in this game, we can mod it, we can change it. You could easily add a recipe in for tier 6 crafting, you know, lock it behind something. You could even lock it behind your very own crafting table, you know, the tier 6 crafting table. The holy grail of crafting tables. There's so many ways to come at that if you want to do it, you know. Well, we're not going back to base, so I'm just doing a bit of mining at the minute, so right. Oh, careful. That was a bit of a... Where are we actually heading? We want to go all the way up to... I think it's that, isn't it? So, I suppose we could try a bit of cross-country. Well, they still do, though, don't they, Mojo? I mean, think about my search for the Crucible. I mean, in some ways, I kind of almost prefer it now, Mojo. You know, I decided not to invest in blacksmithing. I specifically decided not to invest in blacksmithing. To go on that adventure. A lot of people don't have the time. I had therefore multiple options, which we wouldn't have had before. So, for example, I could buy the steel to make the 4x4. I could have bought the steel to make whatever it was I needed to make. You know, the mods or the arrows. I could buy the crucible, which was another alternative open to me if I found one at the trader. Or I could keep looking and find the crucible schematic. And I love that. That's what makes Alpha 18 so wonderful for me, because as much as in Alpha 17 they were trying to ram down my throat that it was the most diverse the game had ever been, we had more options open to us in terms of builds and play styles, and I literally sat there thinking, you are utterly talking out of your fucking cock, mate. Alpha 18 is what they said. Alpha 18 does open up all those play styles, all those different adventures. Every playthrough is going to be different. Next time I could get the Crucible on day 1, for example, you know. I could be steel producing in week 2. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, you're right, mate. I mean, the days of the caliper, but now everything's the caliper. And that's what I love, the tier 6. That is the reinvention of the caliper. But instead of just having, oh, fucking caliper, I'm now like, oh, I really want that shotgun, that tier 6 shotgun. I really want that tier 6 steel axe. I really want that tier 6 9mm. It's opened it out. It's made the loot interesting again. And I totally agree. It's caliper, but 10 times better. Love it. Yeah, not spent any points in pack meal. You know, just ground my way through, getting armor that's got additional mod slots in it. You know, sometimes I've worn armor that has not been as good in terms of damage mitigation or resistance, but it has offered me a mod slot that lets me have 3 extra hot. You know, for a long time I was playing with iron armor and a suit of leather armor, and the leather armor had, for example, some additional storage on it. You know, for my day-to-day scavenging kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, calipers were genius, and you know, we used to, like you said, Mojo, we used to like rue the day that calipers were taken out. It was a sad day. You know, the whole server out trying to find that first pair of calipers so we can actually make ammo, and now it feels like every day is a bit like that. I'm sure on a multiplayer server it's even more manic. You know, people. I'd love to see, you know, how people are specialising in things. You know, as long as you've got a oh, hang on. Let me just grab these because I'm really low on chrysanthemum. I just suddenly spotted a really nice field there. Where are you, mate? I can hear you. They have definitely, since they went stable, added more zombies out and about in the wild. I could spend days and not see a zombie out in the wild, and now I see them all the time. Really wrench that aircon unit for a bit of brass as well, shouldn't I? But let's not get too sidetracked. I should keep red tea production going for a little bit, shouldn't it? Nice little field. Not often I see one like that right next to the road. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to, I mean, we will definitely do a nomad playthrough. I love the idea of like seeing a little house like that and saying, okay, that's where we're going to spend the night. Let's use this area to, let's see what we can get, you know. Before you'd have to make a huge freaking mine. Now I actually can spend a night here. You know, I can wander around and I bet you I can find nodes all the way around here. A little bit of lead, a little bit of iron, a little bit of whatever it's going to be. You know, wrench the car down. There you go, straight away, look, a lead bloody node. That's exactly what I'm after. You know, I don't need to go and have mines bloody everywhere, do I? It's the game is so good. The game is just it's the best it's ever been. Easily. You've been playing Alpha 18 since it came out, and you just got good for the first aid bandage book. Nice one, dude. Yeah, it's a good one to get, that is. Yeah, the first aid bandages are great. And you're still hunting for the crucible and the oil shale gas schematic. The hunt for those recipe unlocks is really great. Yeah, I totally agree. It's exactly what Mojo said. It's the hunt for the calipers times 10. Because there are so many things that can change the way your playthrough happens. You know, you could get the crucible on day one. You could get, you know, an auger on day one along with the fuel schematic. You know, it's super easy to get shale these days. You know, you've got the auger. You might think, well, you know what, this playthrough, let's go crazy. Let's, you know, build underground. Let's use that auger to, like, you know, get all the lead and whatever you out. And crazy, man, crazy. You got the crucible schematic in the cathedral on your last 2 runs. Nice one, bro. Nice one. You know. Anyway, I was just proving a point there. I do want to keep going to my own lead node, but yeah, you know, it's the nomad scavenge run. You know, you travel along, you look at the sites, you stop when you see the animals, you go out, you hunt them, whether it be a chicken or a deer. You know, I like the idea of using the paths to travel instead of always going across country. You know, about 6 o'clock, you think it's time to start setting up. You get a land clan block down, you get that forge up and running, you smelt your stuff, you get your lead tips, and you get whatever it is out. You set up your workbench. You know, I'd love to play like that. But I need the 4x4. That's what we're working towards. And then maybe we will do exactly that. And maybe we can get Chucky and Hashi to give us some tips and things as well. Yeah, exactly, Hashi. Yeah. I'd love to do it. The last time I did anything like that, really, and kind of semi-committed to it, was when I had Bojangles, which was the donkey, the mule that you could get in. What was it? Oh, we're actually really low on fuel, you know. Which was Starvation. And I honestly, one of my most fun experiences. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I really did. It was great. How many repair kits have we got? We've got to grab another repair kit or 2. 52 chrysanthemums. I always think of 52 chrysanthemums only being like 20 odd. It's not, is it? It's 1 chrysanthemum per drink. So that's like literally 50. Grab some more. I do hope they do consider changing the. Having said that, you know, I suppose I was gonna say I was kind of hoping they'll change the chrysanthemum and cotton asset, but actually, weirdly enough, as much as I hated it in just about every alpha leading up to this, I actually it almost works for me now. They're quite easy to spot. They're pretty big. They're quite easy to punch. So maybe I shouldn't ask for a change to that. I mean, they're not the greatest asset, but they're also they're not exactly screaming at me, "You look terrible." Tried the last build, but I got a bug where it says I plugged in a headset and sound settings pop up all the time. Really annoyed. And killed you 4 times. Oh, what the hell, yeah? Not sure about that. That sounds more like a hardware issue, doesn't it, than the game being at fault. Sounds more like an issue possibly with Windows audio output than the game. Because the game, you can't choose audio output on different hardware in the game, can you? You can't even choose like TV speakers or headset as far as I know. And to be honest, I've not actually checked on this alpha, but weird, dude. How are you, mate? How's things? You can still move workstations as long as you've got a workbench. Sorry. As long as you've got a land claim block, mate. So, for example, you could set up a forge and you could smelt like, you know, a load of iron into it and clay. And as long as you actually, you know, extract it all before you pick it up, you'd be able to do, you know, you'd be able to have a mobile forge in theory. Popping a land claim block down. And of course, the beauty of it is, you leave the land claim block where you left it. When you set up the camp the following night, it automatically takes over the previous land claim block, doesn't it? And essentially, that one's then left there with 1 hit point, I think. But it's not like you have to sit there pounding on the land claim block. It's and they're super cheap now. I think a land claim block is like just some stone in it. 5 stone, dude. So, you know, that was actually always a real issue for nomadic playthrough before. Right. So, let's grab... Oh, hang on. Timmy the turret, actually. Let's get Timmy the turret down. Has he actually got ammo in him? Yes, he has. Right, let's see if we can get down here. Grab that. We should be good to go, shouldn't we? I'm actually bursting for a Jimmy Riddle. Why is it? Ooh. Where is it? Where's the lead? We are in a lead. Oh yeah, it is lead. Did anyone see the lead assay anywhere? What's lead look like? Is it there? Oh, there it is. There it is. You're right, Toe Jam. You can move player workstations. Just can't. Yeah, you can't move. Yeah, you can't use existing peer. Yeah. In fact, actually, weirdly enough, they changed something, didn't they? If you find a destroyed workstation now, they said there was a 25% chance that you would actually find the schematic for that workstation in it. I don't know if that's actually carrying on, because that sounded broken as hell to me. And finding a busted workstation, having a 25% chance of getting the schematic out of it sounds a bit OP. You looked into the dump file, nothing useful, sadly, just an ID that you couldn't find anywhere in the game. The game XMLs, that is. Because you kept getting a null reference pointer spam. I don't, I'm afraid, dude. No. I did have one NRE, null reference error, right back. And it was something really weird, like punching chrysanthemum while trying to switch my weapon or something was about as close as we got to narrowing that down. But why that would have caused that NRE, I've got no idea. I can't help you with that disconnect. Have you just tried like a fresh install? I mean, I know, I'm sure you have, mate. I'm not trying to teach you to suck eggs or anything, but have you tried like verifying the cache integrity on Steam and also just a full install? I mean, if things were working one day and not the next, maybe you've just had a bit of a bum save or something. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Forged Iron stopped you nomadic gameplay, but there was a way around it. You just added a different recipe in. And that's what we did, I think, back in Alpha 14, possibly 14 or 15, whenever it would have been. So, yeah, you just changed the recipe for the land claim block. I think we actually changed it to something like a steel ingot, so it just meant we always had to have a stash of steel ingots on us if we travelled around, that was all. Yeah, I'd like to see that, Carl. The one thing I would really like to see, and I think I'll have a lot more commentary on it once we get to power, is an inverter switch. From what I understand, garage doors, drawbridges, they all have obviously a default on-off, as you'd expect. I don't think there's any more iron here, guys, or lead. That seems to be the end of the node, which is a bit surprising. But yeah, it would be nice to have a drawbridge in either position as its default position. Now, whether or not the game can do that, I don't know. I have no idea, but yeah, definitely. A little bit more like Empyrean Galactic Survival, perhaps. I'm not expecting, you know, massive changes, but I think even one single inverter switch would be fantastic. You know, if we could actually get proper RGB lighting, perhaps, as well, for certain light types would be really nice. You can find the schematics in the destroyed stations. Does anyone's personal experience is that it's running at 25%? Because that does seem crazy high. So even looked with Notepad through all the files for that specific object ID that causes the problems and nothing. Jesus, dude. So your game's basically trying to reference an ID that isn't present. I don't know. I don't think I've ever come across that, dude. I wish I could help, mate. Anybody else got any ideas on what Discorrupt could look at? Can anyone see another lead bit? Or do you reckon that's just the end of it? That would be weird, because that would be the first node that I've ever had just end on me. My other one converted into another node. So I think I had, was it my think it was my nitrate node converted into a shale mode after about 10 blocks down, didn't it? So 10 workbenches and you found 3 schematics. So it's pretty, well, it's pretty freaking high still, isn't it? You use the land claim block as a free block. What do you mean by a free block? Yeah, because you can only ever have one. I'm not sure what you mean by a free block, dude. You're right to jam. You found a workbench schematic in a busted workbench, didn't even have to wrench it, it was just sitting in there. That's right, yeah, that's right. That's how it works, dude. 25% chance from what they said in the patch notes. So if you find a workbench, one of two things. You're either going to find a workbench that works, in which case bish bash bosh, or you're going to find a workbench that doesn't work. I'd argue you're better off finding one that doesn't work. That sounds really bad. Because you've got a 25% chance of finding the schematic. It's almost like people are going to stop wanting to find one up and running. I mean, they're not exactly that expensive to make. I mean, the claw hammer is probably a bit of an issue. But the wrench is only a real stickling block, isn't it? I'm just staying here because Timmy the turret will be active. Just a block you don't need to craft single use. Oh, you mean just stick it down? Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, they're pretty durable. Pretty durable. I've never placed one just to have it as a super block. I tell you, I don't even know where mine is. It's probably in storage somewhere from when I spawned in, but... Yeah, the problem with land clan blocks is you do need to be careful with them because they do actually expire, don't they? And I don't think we ever actually quite figured out what the deal with that actually was. Because we quite often used to go back to our base camp, didn't we? And the land clan block would just be broken. It's down to 1 hit point. Almost as if we'd placed another land clan block somewhere, even though we hadn't. But I think they do only last for a certain amount of time. They do have a decay on them, don't they? Do your work, Timmy. Do your work, mate. that's what my argument about the 25% was, Uncle Sam. Yeah. I mean, I know just because you've got a schematic, you can't just knock up a workbench, but 25% kind of makes me think, well, you know, I think I'd rather have the bloody schematic. Who knows? I suppose until you've played it through. I mean, I guess at this point in the game, it's kind of skewed because I don't know how hard it actually is to make a workbench in the first couple of days, but, you know, not easy, obviously. But do I need a workbench in the first few days? No, I don't, let's be honest. Back in the day, workbenches were like the holy grail because you could just keep manufacturing things and upgrading them to some degree, couldn't you? So it kind of made all those crappy bows or weapons that you got, you could convert them into ever more potentially awesome ones. Yeah, that's right. I don't know what the time is though. I don't think we ever figured it out, did we? I'm sure you can make it infinite, can't you? I mean, you can essentially make the area of effect of a land claim block huge. Like you say, I'm sure you can change the decay timer on it, and you can also change the block multiplier, can't you, for non-allied players, etc, etc. So we were talking about it for PvP servers, weren't we? So there'd be nothing to stop you having a completely 100% protected area. You know, you could essentially have close to infinity block durability for non-allied players. You could have it, you know, for a 100 block radius, and you could have it never to decay, right? Right, I don't think we're getting much more out of that, folks. So I think we might have to move to another node. I can't see the trail. I mean, that's all just clay. It's just stone. I think I'm just going to end up either with a collapse or... Can't see anything in there. I mean, we got... What did we get? We got 1,000 lead. Which is not really... I should have started that other node that we found in, shouldn't I? To be honest. I don't think this is worth continuing with, to be honest. first time I've kind of hit a dead end. Probably a little bit still up there, but... Quite a nice you don't really have to switch out to the shovel now. I always thought that was one of those really weird things in the patch notes. It's like, well, have you just removed the need for the shovel? But it actually saves you fannying about a lot of the time, doesn't it? Obviously, you still need it for the soil and things to some degree, but once you reach a certain point, it's not as crucial to have to be carrying, you know, the whole bloody garage worth of tools with you. Yeah, I think we'll leave that. Right, I'll tell you what then. I'm going to go and grab a coffee really quickly, and then we'll head back out when I get back. So just bear with me 2 minutes, folks.
Hello? Hello?
Your part is required. You've been a most magnanimous host, and you've waited too long for this moment.
Alright, back. I think my sound's died. Oh no, it hasn't. Oh, Jesus. It's freaking freezing out there today. Like, proper freezing, mate. Woo! Paddock, Tickles, McJiggles, and Jimmy the Brush. Well, thank you for the follows. And Jimmy, thank you for the host. How you doing, Jimmy? Oh, jeez, that is cold. It is proper icy out there. In fact, let me just close this door once. Yeah, I do not like that. I do not like that. I don't worry about whether it's a role-playing experience, personally, Ragnarok. I'm not worried about that. We could cast that that same comment about 1001 things. It's a zombie apocalypse game. I'm not really worried about whether or not I'm learning how to make it. It just seems if you're going to have it locked behind perk points, why give everyone a 25% chance to get it? Because all it does is minimise the importance of spending the perk points on it to craft it. So I really don't get that. 25% is ludicrously high for anything in this game. In my opinion, anyway. It just seems way too easy to get your hands on it. Right, let's have a ganders. Where's the old bike gone? We need to find another lead node. Because that one, I think that one's dead, to be honest with you. Now, if we can try and find one sort of in that vicinity, we'd be alright, wouldn't we? Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Will it ever get there? Sometimes the courier can't find the address. Well, I'll be using your courier service again then. Fuck me. How you doing, Jimmy? It's bloody freezing here, Jimmy. It's bloody freezing, mate. Bloody freezing. Now, hang on. I've got something to talk about. What did I say the other day? When our good friend Shroud decided to go to new pastures following Ninja's trail. And what did I say? The only way that we need to pay any attention to this is if we start seeing a flurry of other streamers. And the next target will be a variety streamer. And I missed the boat a little bit there, didn't I? Because what I should have said was a slightly specialised streamer. And that's exactly what they've gone for, isn't it? With King Gathalion, as I know him. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. So they've got the face of Twitch with Ninja. They've got one of the preeminent PvP FPSs in Shroud. And now they have King Gathalion. Is extremely well known within, you know, I guess the looter shooter FPS circle. You know, Destiny, Borderlands, all those kind of games. The Division, you know, they're all his kind of Warframe, all his kind of cup of tea, aren't they? And he's buggered off as well. So I think if Mixer can follow it up with an all singing, all dancing variety streamer, 100% variety, I think Gathalion's kind of a bit of a blend. Then I think we'll start seeing some interesting things going on. I've heard rumours that Twitch have been fighting back, that this isn't a case of Twitch not doing anything. There have been suggestions that Twitch have been saying to people that are leaving or potentially leaving that they will match sub for sub. So in other words, if somebody does sub to your channel, they will match that with another gifted sub, if you like. I guess to somewhat try and provide some damage mitigation for them. But yeah, interesting stuff, right? And let's remember that just recently, and in fact I watched it live as it was happening, King Gathalion hit 1 million followers. And he was talking about how important that community was to him and all the rest. And he's left. Now, he always said the only way he would leave was that if it worked well for his... he's very invested, for example, in... Is it Guardian Con that he set up, isn't it? Guardian Con, and he does a huge amount of work for... well, as many streamers do for St. Jude's, doesn't he? So apparently, whatever the deal with Microsoft is, they have taken on board that. So I should imagine... I should imagine he's had a very nice deal out of that one. Interesting times we live in, right? Have a window up during the night and wake up to a frozen lip broom. What's that? A frozen lip broom? It's not enough until it starts getting momentum. I think that's what I was saying, Jimmy. That's the way I see it. It's a streamer here and a streamer there. It amounts to nothing. But if they can, you know, poach one in each category, then things change. Things change dramatically. How you doing, Mr. Elegon? How you doing? I've not seen you for ages, mate. How are you, sir? Nice to see you, bro. I hope the family's well, matey. I hope the family's well. Yeah, I mean, it's like the way I saw it, Jimmy, right? You take Ninja. That is your opening shot to Twitch. That is a corporate thing. That is you are not invincible. We can do this if we so wish to. They took the face of Twitch. You know, it doesn't matter whether you like Ninja or not. The simple fact of the matter, he was the poster child of Twitch. All sorts of special concessions being made towards him. You know, the big New Year's event, you name it, he was getting it. Advertising his channel on other streamers' channels. I mean, it was unprecedented chaos. You know, Twitch was fully behind Ninja. Ninja. Mixer, come along. Thank you very much. He's off coming with us. It doesn't mean you're ever going to go and watch Mixer. Unless you actually like Fortnite, you're not going to go and watch Ninja on Mixer. Now, Shroud is the follow-up shot. Shroud is a good and really good, and I mean really, really good first-person competitive player. He might not be the most, how can we put it? dramatic of streamers, which is, you know, what a lot of the kids like, but there's no denying he is a force to be reckoned with in those Battle Royale style games. And a lot of people like to watch a skillful player, myself included. So I will be watching Shroud on Mixer. You know, if a new game comes out that is of that kind of ilk, or even a pre-existing game, I will watch Mixer now. And unfortunately, you know, I will spread my time between Switch and Mixer. End of story. Case closed. Because I want to watch Shroud. King Gathalion, I watch an absolute shit ton. I mean, I really watch a lot of King Gathalion. Maybe not so much recently, because I've not been watching anyone recently. But I love the games he plays, and I love the way he plays them, and I love the quality of his stream, and I think he's very representative of, you know, a family streamer. You know, he's got, you know, a family to support. He does amazing stuff for charity. He's got his fit. I mean, he even runs his own coffee business, I do believe, as well, doesn't he? You know, so he's quite a little entrepreneur. You know, I admire him, I respect him. He says it as he sees it as well. He doesn't pull his punches sometimes in chat, which I'm, you know, always very impressive or impressed with when a streamer doesn't, you know, become a sellout. And I think now all they need is basically the only other streamers that I would watch on stream outside of my friends. And, you know, the smaller streamers, you know, I'm talking about the big kids. I mean, people on social media have been talking about King Gathalion as being very much low to mid-tier streamer. Jesus Christ, the dude's pulling in like 5,000 plus viewers, you know, as an absolute bottom. I wouldn't exactly call that low to mid-tier myself, but anyway, it goes to show how people value these things. But if they had someone like Dan's Gaming or Code Carnage, they've got everything that I need in 3 to 4 streamers, and you know, my view time would be shifted. You know, if I want to go and watch the latest new game, you know, get a little bit of a flavour for what it's like, I tend to go and watch Dan's Gaming, Code Carnage, Lyric, somebody like that. If one of those faces suddenly pops up on Mixer, I'm going to be watching even more Mixer. So if they can keep the momentum up, I think Switch are going to be sitting there going, well, you know, it's you know, we're not exactly in any major jeopardy here, but I think as a consumer, it offers us one thing: competition. And I don't want to see live streaming. As much as I love Twitch, you know, I think Twitch have done some really weird things over the years. And I don't want to see YouTube. I don't want to see a scenario where it's like YouTube, where if I want to go and watch VODs, I'm stuck on YouTube. And if you want to make a VOD, it's going to be stuck on YouTube. Competition's got to be good for us at the end of the day. But both as, you know, whether or not you see yourself as a content creator or whether or not you see yourself as a viewer or even both, I think the more competition that we have in this industry right now, it's got to work out good for everyone. It's a huge business, right? There's room for another player, and let's see where it goes. You know. You think Tim the Tatman? You really think so? Tim the Tatman and Summit. I've heard a lot of people saying that Summit's on the books to move over. See, the thing is with Summit, Summit plays a hell of a lot, or he was, because I think he's now GTA exclusively for a bit, isn't he? He used to play a lot of Sea of Thieves, which is of course a Microsoft game, isn't it? With behind the Rare studio, so that would actually be really interesting. How are you doing, Mr. Melagon? How's things, sir? Nice to see you, bro. Nice to see you. Yeah. Family's well, but big changes. Your wife is starting work again. Oh, she got something then. So this is in addition, right? Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, which means a bit more workload for us all, but also a bit more funds for the vacations. And that with some side project keeps you busy. Nice, Elegon. Sounds like it's busy but fun, mate. And you know what? That sounds ideal to me, to be fair, mate. Fair play to you. Well, all my best wishes to her. I hope she's had a good start, and I hope it works out to be very enjoyable for her. That's interesting. Grim is on the complete opposite. You hate big streams as chat is virtually useless. Yeah, and I'll comment on that in a minute. And then you rather watch a Let's Play on YouTube. What I love is the ability to interact with streamers, so I have absolutely no interest in watching someone on Mixer at the moment. And that is where your view time is very different to mine. See, nearly all of my view time does not allow me to interact with chat. If I'm watching Twitch 9 times out of 10, if I'm not watching, say, someone like, there's only a few streamers that I watch. Jimmy the Brush and Wheeze are the two. And there's another gentleman that I tend to watch day to day. You know, when I can, I pop in. Always got a stream over. You know, any support you can lend. That's what I kind of do. But if I'm out and about and there's a big new game, I tend to just have one of the big streamers on. The reason for that is the way the chat works for those streamers. You know, I actually quite like listening. Dan and Co aren't exactly chatty McChattersons, but I found that I can watch them almost as a podcast, Elegon, if that makes sense. So if say, for example, The Outer Worlds is out, I don't really want spoilers. I want to get a flavour for the game, but I don't really want spoilers. So it's perfect for me to watch someone like Code Carnage. He's probably not answering 1,000,001 super specific questions. His chat's going to be fairly generic, you know, what he's covering. He's talking about the game. He's got a commentary about what he's doing. He'll talk about the skills or whatever it is that he's playing. And I don't need to be interacting with chat to get a flavour for the game. And obviously, as I've said, if I have actual proper quality time to sit down and watch a stream, you know, I'll be watching James Guy Holland, you know, people in our own community, Wentex, Jimmy the Brush, etc., 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 Wheeze, you know, just to name a few guys. Because, like you said, Elegon, because I'm going to have a fun experience. I'm going to get to have a chat, you know, ask how everyone's day is going and be part of that community. I watch the big streamers a lot because of exactly what I've just said. I get a really high quality stream that is always at a specific schedule. I know when Code Carnage is streaming. I know when Dan's Gaming streams. I know when Lyric streams. And I will simply be able to go on there. And I know that Dan and Co and Lyric are going to have the game 3-4 days before it comes out to the rest of the world. And that, to me, is why I watch them. Which is why if they migrated to Mixer, they would have a viewer in me. Chat is best with 300 or less and no streamer camera. Those you skip. You're not into the cams, no?
Paper planes flying out of sight.
You right, Dirt Man?
Kaleidoscope in black and white.
You right, Kanamechi? You should diversify more, mate. How you doing, Chaos? Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Wonderwaff, you have this on audio only now, waiting on a bus. Nice one, dude, nice one. I think the next mixer mover is James. It will be their master move if they choose wisely. Yeah, that's it. James Guy Holland. Save James, new home. Why not, right? Why not? Yeah, I think it's exciting. I think it's exciting. Not because I want to see faces leave the Twitch ecosystem. I'm always sad, you know. I love Twitch. Twitch has, you know, always done amazing by me. You know, I've kind of grown up with Twitch ever since the days when Justin TV kind of got turned off. And I love it here. You know, I absolutely love it here. But I also understand that, and you know, maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but you know, competition is good. It is good. I am a consumer of digital data. And I think when you've got two such behemoths, I mean, you've essentially got Amazon toe-to-toe with Microsoft. That's got to be a good thing, right? That's got to be a good thing. I can't see any negatives to that, personally. You know, they're vying for the same view time, the same niche market. And it might just keep them, if nothing. I mean, one of the things that I've heard, see, this is actually a really interesting comment. I don't know how much validity there is to this, but it's something that really resonated with me. Some of the streamers that have been humming and hawing about moving to Mixer, some of the big streamers, they're doing it for a reason that hadn't really entered my mind. Smetanol, sorry, dude. Thank you very much for the 18 months, bro. Thank you very much for the 18. Top banana, man. Hope all is well with you, and thank you for using your Prime with us yet again, my friend. Awesome stuff, mate. Awesome stuff. Infernal Phoenix Mist. Thank you for your sub as well. Thank you very, very much for the subs, bro. Smetanol, 18 glorious months, my friend. Thank you very much, mate. Always a pleasure to see you, bro. And Infernal Phoenix, thank you very, very much for your sub. Really do appreciate it. Top banana. Top banana, lads. Here's something. Here's something. Again, I don't know. I think Gathalion in particular. There has been, and I don't know how much we're allowed to talk about this, but I'm sure you're all aware of it. There has been a lot of talk recently about the terms of service of Twitch and how they don't seem to be particularly equitably policed. Let's put it that way, right? we've all seen it. People with animals and alcohol and a little bit of bare flesh and all the rest of it. And, you know, you can sit there and you can moan about it all you want. But, you know, we're all grown adults and the world isn't a fair place. But one of the things that I have been hearing is that some of the people that are thinking of moving to Mixer, especially those that are obviously going under with incredibly lucrative deals for a switchover from Twitch, is because I've heard they are being given an opportunity to actually shape, create, and formulate the way that that service moves forward. An opportunity to empower them to become very influential in how Mixer moves their live streaming service forwards. Now, I know Gathalion, for example, is very, very into his charities, his personal products. That's one of the reasons. Let's not forget. That's one of the reasons that Ninja he was very clear to stipulate. He was very, very grateful to Twitch. He didn't leave, you know, with any bad blood until they fucked him over, obviously. But one of the issues he had was he wanted to grow his own brand. He wanted to diversify the Ninja brand, and he was struggling to do that with Twitch. Twitch weren't on board. Now, all three that have recently moved over have all said that that is part of the reason for moving. Is that Mixer seems to be much more on board with understanding that it's about you growing and not you growing the platform. And I think where these individuals have the scope to do that, then they want to do that and they want to influence other things, charitable events, etc., etc., etc. And I can get that. You know, it's the one thing that Twitch doesn't seem to get right, and I've always actually defended them on that. I think it's very hard to police a live streaming service like this. It is. You know, there isn't one rule for everybody. That's not the way the world really works when it comes to the bottom line of making cash, right? Doesn't mean it's right, and I'm not defending that, but it's very hard. It's very hard to get a set of rules up that everyone can get their head around. There's always going to be someone who, you know, can deviate a little bit from the norm. I mean, we've seen some crazy things from some big streamers, and you know, a 2-day ban and they're back with more subs and more fanfare than ever before. It's almost encouraged the culture where getting a ban actually is better for your channel than not having a ban. You know, that's not right. You know, that's telling you there's something seriously fundamentally wrong with the way that this all works. But who knows? Who knows? You know, I'm not a part of it. I've got no interest in Mixer. Other than the fact that I will, you know, it's a statement of fact. I'm not publicising it, but I will spend more time watching Mixer because some of the people that I love to stream are going over there. No, we're not, Pixie. Apparently James is. Dear. Yeah, I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows where it all ends? Like I said, I guess at the end of the day, the only positive out of it, no matter what happens, is that you've got a choice. You know, you have now potentially got a choice, especially within some genres of games. I mean, I still say the one thing, or the only thing I really care about is, will they actually allow us to have a higher bit rate? Now, that's the one thing that I think Twitch needs to make a decision on, and they need to make it really, really soon. We've got a lot of other streaming platforms that allow much, much, much higher bit rates. Now, not everybody can watch them. And I certainly understand the complexities of transcode. It's not as simple as just giving everybody options. That's huge, huge, huge side of encoding and live streaming, especially with the back-end servers. But they are behind everybody else. Considering they're the biggest streaming service, the actual quality of streams on Twitch does suffer because we have such a low bit rate. We're on day 143, mate. So we've survived 142 evenings at the minute, mate. Thanks, Metal. Thank you, and thank you, Infernal, as well. The spear's awesome, Jan. The spear's awesome, except when you throw it off the top of a building. which I did do the once, mate. Let's just say I never found that spear again. Yeah. Are you alright, Chaos? How's things, mate? How's your dad today, mate? You alright, Lady Elvira? Grum, you've passed 100 plus several times for every build by now. Oh, what with the stream? Yeah. Oh yeah, we've had like we've had like 4-digit servers in the past, didn't we? Wonder how many days we actually made Caliper City last for. I can't remember on that one. But yes, it's gonna be an interesting few weeks. I think the most important thing is for Mixer is whether or not they can maintain this. You know, like I said, if every couple of months you hear about another streamer moving over, it loses momentum. It's, oh yeah, whatever, you know. And the forum posts and the social media posts are gone before they've even started. It's, if they start banging out announcements every couple of 3 days that a fairly prominent and well-known streamer is vacating Twitch for Mixer, then I think that's when people are going to start opening their eyes a little bit and go, hang on, what the hell is going on here, you know, especially behind the scenes. It's, I'm not even sure I'm allowed to talk about it, but there's an example of the terms of service, you see. Someone like me will get permabanned. Whereas Asmund Gold will be sitting there all day talking about it, you know. Oh, we've had way more than that, yeah. We had a 1400-day server back in then. I think it did 1700, did it? Yeah, this is the way I see it, Dance. You know, I don't want to see people forced into making knee-jerk reactions. I don't want Twitch to suddenly go into panic mode and start making crazy and ridiculous decisions. But I think when you've got two brands that, for all intents and purposes, have got an infinite amount of money to throw at their live streaming service. I think one of the things that's really important here, and a lot of people will be losing sight of the bigger picture for Microsoft. Microsoft have embraced something that is potentially huge for them. The next generation of consoles are not a million miles away. You know, this time next year, we'll be looking at the Xbox, and we'll certainly be looking at the next PlayStation 5. Now, there is no doubt that we are seeing a massive shift in the advertising industry with gaming. We're seeing it all the time. It's becoming that the industry can no longer sustain the amount of cost it is for marketing video games. Billions of dollars marketing video games every year. You know, these AAA titles, you know, putting ads up during Super Bowls, on the sides of buildings, you know, on bus stops and on every website out there. You're missing your potential market 9 times out of 10. People watching the Super Bowl don't necessarily give a flying toss about the latest Call of Duty. You know, some of them will, but, you know, it's a fraction of, you know, the number of people that watch this. My dad watches the freaking Super Bowl, for God's sake. You know, he couldn't care less about the latest Call of Duty game. Or whatever it is. You know, it might not be the best example, but you stick an advert up at the start of Code Carnage's stream and get Code Carnage to pop that advert up, you know, X number of times during a sponsored stream of your latest video game. You're hitting a seriously high percentage of your audience. You know, you are going to get people buying your video game that had no interest in it previously. You know, a lot of these streamers are very, very positive. You know, they have a really good working relationship with a lot of these publishers and developers. And Microsoft, I think, are embracing this. They're seeing the future of it. New Xbox with a live streaming service that is going to be insanely at a hardware level compatible with their next generation of consoles. So everyone, you know, with an Xbox is going to be able to stream to Mixer with dedicated hardware, blah, 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 click of a button. Fantastic quality, high bit rates, all the rest of it. Embracing that W10 infrastructure. You know, it's now they always wanted Windows 10 in your living room. You know, they've tried every fucking which way to make that happen. They've done it. Xbox, it's there. Next Xbox, it will be Windows 10. Might not look like Windows 10, but it will be. Everything's working for them. You get King Gathalion, you get Shroud, and you get Ninja playing the next fucking Halo. And you watch Mixer explode. Everyone's going to be over there because you know he's going to have early access to you, don't you? Those 3 guys. And you can sort of see how all the pieces start fitting into place. You know, Halo's a massive franchise. All those Microsoft exclusives. They now have the ability to hit that up on their platform a week, maybe 2 weeks, who knows, even a few days before it hits even mainstream reviewers. And they've created this echo chamber that sucks. It's like a vortex sucking in that viewer base. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. The only thing I predict now is a big variety streamer. That's all they need. One big variety streamer. And they basically clinched the deal. It might not be clinched now. We're not going to suddenly say, oh, you know, mix of, you know, viewing figures have skyrocketed. But it places them ready over the next 12 months before the next console release to just blow it apart. That's my prediction, anyway. CEO of Awesome. For you to even watch Mixer would have to make the website way better to look at. It's ugly and drab. But that's subjective, you see. That's purely subjective. I mean, I see you say that here, Awesome. And yeah, you know, I could agree or I could disagree. Or I could be completely indifferent on that topic. That's you. I can tell you for a fact, right, that when I was streaming, the amount of people in our incredibly small community that went batshit crazy over the Twitch changing font a couple of weeks back, mate. It was like, I'm leaving Twitch. I don't like the new font, mate. I don't like this. I don't like the new dark mode. Doom and gloom. You know, it's subjective, mate. You know, that doesn't clinch or seal a deal for the majority of people watching it, you know. I don't have any, you know, for me it comes down to, I don't give a shit what it looks like. I want to know what it's like on the mobile app, because that's where I watch most of my Twitch. And I can tell you for a fact the Twitch mobile app is a sack of shit for me right now. It's probably my phone. I'm not blaming Twitch. I think my phone just can't handle it. Whereas Mixer, I can watch it flawlessly. And I can watch it at a better resolution flawlessly. So, you know, that's... You see, you've made a decision based on that, Awesome. I've made a decision based on something else. There's so many factors involved in that. Who knows where it all ends, you know? You're right, Chucky Pot. No, I'm not now, Chucky Pot. In fact, I'm going to go into IRL and we're going to talk about it all day just to upset you. Yeah, I'd love to be a variety streamer as well. I always said that I always had an issue with variety streaming because I would never have been able to afford it. And then we were recently talking about the Games Pass, the Xbox Games Pass. Holy shit, the amount of freaking games on that thing, dude. You can become a variety streamer. You might not be playing all the latest and greatest games, but you can actually become a variety streamer now for 15 quid a month, dude. Crazy. Those Game Passes are freaking awesome, dude. I don't like what they stand for. I'm going to be the first to say that. I'm not a fan of Games Passes. But, you know, if you are streaming and you want to play a myriad of different games, Xbox Game Pass, I think it's actually only about $10 a month. I don't think it's even 15 quid, to be honest. Yeah, that's that. Oh, yeah, absolutely, CEO. Oh, yeah, I was actually totally agreeing with you. I think it's a really valid point. We all have something that we like or we dislike, don't we? For example, I know nothing about Mixer, CEO. I was over there trying to catch the Shroud stream, and they have, like, levels. And I don't know what the levels mean, and I don't know how their bits equivalent works, and it's all a mystery to me because it's all new, and I kind of just couldn't be asked to learn about it. I just wanted to watch the stream, dude. I was there this morning, and it was like I think that like the top Call of Duty streamer on Twitch had something like 17,000 viewers, and I think the top Mixer streamer had about 1,000 viewers. So it's always quite interesting seeing there's a hell of a difference, isn't there? And then of course that's just the top one streamer. As you move down, you know the top 10 Twitch streamers were all over 10,000 viewers. On Mixer, it went from 1,000 as the top one down to about 50. So, you know, the viewer base definitely isn't there, is it? It definitely isn't there. But, you know, it's yeah. Like I say, so some people are going to choose it literally because they don't like a font. It's that simple, isn't it? You don't like the dark mode, you switch. Swings and roundabouts. You drove to Killarney for lunch, an 11-mile round trip for a good feed. Well, I hope you've been a bit poorly recently, Wentex, so hopefully that was a nice treat for yourself, mate. Oh, I can see a zombie face in there, look. So look, we've got, that's like the top of the skull around there, look. And that's like his bulging eyeball. And there's his other sort of recessed eyeball. You see it? like a zombie face. There's his nose, like he's sort of like triangular cutout for his nose. Look, just in there. There you see. Found a body, mate. Found a body. It'll be Chucky's body if she keeps up the slagging off in chat. You're right, Lauher. How you doing? It's Alpha 18 stable. It is stable, but there's also 18.1 on the experimental branch as well. Unless that might be in 18.2 now, who knows? But, I'm on the stable build. I honestly thought I'd updated the... Well, I did. I did update the server to the latest stable build, but apparently Bluefang haven't updated their end yet, so it turned out to be the experimental branch. So big shout out to Shades for clearing that one up. Weetabix, thank you for the 16 months of sub support, my friend. Thank you very, very much indeed, bro. How are you, mate? How you feeling today, Weetabix? You've had a bit of a rough weekend, didn't you, fella? Starting to come through the other side. We've nearly got enough. We just need another 1,000 and we'll be set for the week. Thank you, Weetabix. Thank you very much, bro. You're right, Daxos. You'd let Microsoft mow your lawn. Really? Don't think I would, mate. Girlfriend does my lawn. She's got a bit of a passion for playing with a lawnmower. Never thought I'd see the day. She loves the bloody thing. Killarney ain't too bad from your side of the city, but did you go a Mallow direction? And that's great to spend time with your mate. Sad time, but you'll see each other great. Oh, was it someone that you don't get to see often, Wentex? I must have missed that. Sorry, dude. I thought you'd just been out for a nice bit of chow, bro. You're hoping to take the week off to recover now. Paid this time, I hope. What are you going to do with the time, Weetabix? Just literal, just rest and recuperation, or you're going to kick the arse out of the outer worlds or something? You're right, Elegant. Welcome back, bro. Welcome back, sir. So, you love Shroud, but you still won't go to Mixer to watch him there. See, what? See, it's interesting you say that. See, I don't understand that, because, say I'm watching on the phone, I just maximise the stream. I wouldn't even know I was watching on Mixer, dude. You know what I mean? It's an interesting one to see, yeah. And that goes into what we were saying to Elegon earlier about how everybody has a different way of watching streams, right? For example, if I'm watching Co or Dan, I don't have the chat open. I've probably got it maximised on my phone just so I can keep glancing over and looking at the gameplay and hopefully not seeing spoilers. I'll even mute out if I've got my Jaybirds in. I just quickly mute them if I know there's like NPC dialogue, for example. But yeah, I mean, I was watching Shroud with whatever it was, Call of Duty, and I wouldn't, to be honest, I wouldn't even know he was on Mixer, dude. I don't really get that. I don't really get the comment there, Daxos. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean. Isn't it the same with all? I mean, I turn on Steam and they're forcing fucking adverts, pop-ups all over my fucking page. If I turn on PlayStation Network, there's adverts for games. If I turn on Windows 10, there's no fucking adverts. But if I turn on my Xbox, there are adverts. So don't they all do exactly the same thing? I don't see why Microsoft gets any hate over anybody else there, personally. In fact, I'm fucking amazed that Windows 10 doesn't give me adverts. I'm sure that'll be rectified at some point in the future. She loves mowing the grass. I think she likes the smell, TM. She reckons, this is crazy, right? She doesn't suffer from hay fever, but she thinks it helps her asthma. I have no idea why. But yeah, the fresh cut, you know, the smell of freshly cut grass. She absolutely loves it, mate. Absolutely loves it. Oh, it was Smetanol, not Daxos. Smetanol mentioned that. Sorry, Smetanol. Oh, sorry, Daxos, should I say. So he worked with you for 11 years at Blizzard, but his family's had health issues, so spent the year back in the UK with him. He came back this week to pack up and move. Oh, he's actually moving back for good. Oh, gutted winter. So I'm sorry to hear that, mate.
Morning or just popping in while at work. It's so cold, so please wrap your bollocks up in tinfoil and squat above an open flame. Stay toasty, knobbers.
I'd burn all my bum air, mate. I couldn't do that. And you know what happens if you start playing about with bum air? Thank you for the beer, Saralander, and you're right, it's bloody freezing, mate. It's fairly cheap to travel from UK to Ireland, right, Wentex? I mean, I know it always comes down to time. I mean, my dad doesn't live a million miles away from me, but, you know, even a couple of hour drive here and there, it ramps up, doesn't it? I mean, hopefully we'll still be able to see each other, right? Hope so, dude. Your mobile is so old school, it ain't even got the internet in the first place. Jesus Christ, that is old school, dude. My phone's dying. In fact, Evil sent me a link to his phone. I can't remember the name of it, but it looks like it's got really good reviews. It's a manufacturer I've never ever heard of, but I think if this one does go the way of the dodo, which I think it certainly will in the next 6 to 12 months, I might look into that one. I thought there was only Samsung, Apple, and that was about it, really. And HTC was the other one, I think, because that's my dad's one. I don't get any of that. I don't know what dodgy, corrupt version of Windows 10 you've got, but none of that happens with me, mate. I don't know what apps you've got. I certainly don't have this, and I'm paranoid about such smell. So I don't know what they're forcing down your neck in Russia, mate, but that ain't the same experience in the UK version, dude. And I'm pretty sure they don't have regional variants these days. You sure you haven't just got some dodgy Russian hacked version of Windows 10, bro? It's actually Northern Ireland's the same country, really, but 7 hours. Oh, wow, 7 hours. Jesus, mate. Yeah. It was your true drinking, but oh, Wentex, oh mate. I suppose in the modern age, Wentex, I mean, the beauty of it is if you both really want to stay in touch, you know, it's just. I've been doing it recently, and weirdly enough, it was going to be Cube World, and it didn't turn out to be Cube World. Sometimes just set like, you know, even if it's like an hour slot every month. You know, and just play a video game together. You know, jump on Skype, Discord, TeamSpeak, whatever your flavour of the, you know, comms is. You know, it's a nice way to spend some time. And I've always found, like, by playing a computer game while you're doing that, it just helps the flow of the convo, mate. You know, because it is hard. You know, and I think I've got friends I know, you know, lead very different lives to me than when I knew them, and when the friendship was born and created. You know, we lead very different lives now, and you know, by playing a video game, and I don't know, it just helps. It helps that moment. It's not about being awkward or anything. It's just, it gives you something to focus on, and it doesn't become like that babbling catch up of, oh, I've done this and I've done that, or, you know, have you heard about? I just really like that. I think it's something that I've always enjoyed about video games. It's a lot of my family, for example, we play games that we wouldn't normally play, like say Rocket League, because it's just something to have on while you're in party chat. You're not really taking it seriously or anything, are you? I hope you can stay in touch, mate. I'm sure you will. You'll have to have like a Wentex con where you meet up like once every year or something, dude. Go and get absolutely fucking hammered. Like completely shit-faced. You alright, Pie Burn? How you doing, bro? No, it sounds like you're really close, Wentex. It's you know, that's sad to know he's had to move so far away. So it's like 7 hours, is it? That's a chunk, innit, mate? That's a chunk, dude. Yeah, should we just all go over Chaos? Just descend on Island. I think we'd be kicked out, mate. Or we would certainly be filled in, I reckon. Well, there you go then, Sperno. Yeah, I can't exactly listen to your opinion of Windows 10 when you've got some dodgy version of it, can I, mate? Oh my god, Wencon in Blackpool. I can just imagine that B&B with the sticky sheets right now. Oh, the sticky floor as you walk in. Oh god, no wonder it was so cheap. Oh, nice one, Dan. Great loot, mate. Fantastic loot. Holy balls. You hit the jackpot there, geezer. Fair play to you, mate. Right, okay. Well, look, that is actually a much better mine than we had before. So let's grab these little cheeky monkeys. That means I'm out of wood. We'll have to rectify that. We'll just backfill this once we don't fall into it. And I like to anyway. It's always a nice to have an actual marker for the latest mine. Did we actually mark it on the map? Save waypoint. I think we're using that, aren't we? And this was lead, wasn't it? So that's probably lead 2, I guess. Let me go and get some wood. Oh, you got Blackpool in Ireland? I was thinking about Blackpool. My God. I'll tell you what, I could have a laugh down there if I ever went back, I tell you. I watched a little bit yesterday. It wasn't long because I didn't have to go back out. But the girlfriend's been watching a show. Piebird, thank you for the biddies.
I've been waiting ages for you to get out of the hole, P.
Thank you, Piebird. Thank you for the bits, my friend. Yeah, it's on I think it's called 5 Star. Is that even a channel? It's called 5 Star. It's probably on Virgin Media. And it's about what's they calling it? The county court judgments where the guys go round and, you know, if you owe like $5,000, they go around and take all the property from you. It's like really fucking scary, mate. I'd say I had no idea how much debt there was in the UK. Like really scary statistics. But they don't piss about, you know. If you owe money, then those boys turn up at the door. They ain't going nowhere, mate. And it's quite scary because you've obviously got the sob stories. You know, you know, it's say a single parent, you know, with 4 kids in the house, and basically the landlords, you know, got the county court judgment, they've been evicted. That's it. They go around. You've got to be out of the house in 1 hour. You've got the horror stories with like the really aggressive sort of people with the Dobermans in the front garden. This is sort of very much of the criminal ilk that owe money and are really threatening and aggressive. You've got the young kids that have got into debt, and like, you know, suddenly these bailiffs or whatever they're called kind of turn up at like mom and dad's house and start, you know, inventorizing everything that's in the property. Honestly, debt is terrifying, absolutely terrifying, mate. It's actually a really interesting program and also a really scary program, and it's kind of weird how people sort of like just refuse to admit who they are. You know, they just pretend it's not them, even though, you know, the car registered in their name is on the drive, the house is in their name, and all the rest of it. Crazy stuff, man. The UK's in a right old pickle, apparently. Right old pickle. I don't think this was on Netflix, but it might have been. It might have been. All I know is it was called 5 Star. It had like a logo, the numeric 5, and then the word star, whatever weird ass channel that is, mate. But some very interesting characters. I can't remember what they're called, the enforcement officers. But like I said, it's actually it's sad, and yet also, I guess. There is that side of it where people have got into debt, and you know, unfortunately, if you owe money, you fucking do owe money. You know, it is that simple, isn't it? It doesn't mean it's a good thing. We don't wish it on anyone, but you know, you can't run. It's like they kept saying, you can't run away from the debt. You know, it is going to catch up with you at some point, but it's the personal. There was one where, like, for example, where a lady had got she'd long divorced her husband. It was years later, and they came for her. Like, they came for a shared debt between husband and her. They'd actually divorced, but they were not leaving, mate. But you know, she had to come up with the goodies, man. It was must be terrifying, absolutely terrifying. People trying to leg it out the back door in their slippers. Can't pay, they'll take it away. Oh, I don't think it's called that, but I get it's exactly the same thing, Wentex. So I bet it's exactly the same, you know, format. Yeah, it is. It's frightening. You know, it is frightening. Very, very. And some of the people, oh my god, they're so aggressive. You know, death threats. There was one where a guy was taking a picture of the enforcement officer, and he was threatening, "I'm gonna find you. You know, you don't know who you're messing with here, mate. I will find you. I will find out who your family is, and I will fucking kill you." And oh Jesus, mate, that was really scary watching that. Yeah, that's it. You know what, Zar? You know what, mate? You say that, but actually, I have to say that the level of professionalism I saw. Now, all right, they're being televised and all the rest of it. They do care, dude. I didn't feel that watching that. They were very real people doing a very difficult job. And you know, for example, in the case of the lady that was essentially being evicted. You know, they were doing everything they could to help her out. They were giving her all the contact details, the paperwork that she needed to go and get emergency housing. They went well out of their way. You know, it was a horrible thing that they were having to do. But they do care, dude. They do. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them don't, but you can say that about, you know, I'm sure there's policemen that don't give a fuck. And there are plenty of policemen that do. But very calm. You know, they've done the job for very many years. You know, they don't go in, they're not aggressive, they're not antagonistic, they're always trying to deflate the situation. Even to the point where, you know, saying, you know, obviously, you know, we are allowed into the property as long as they can get in. I've forgotten what they call it, but as long as there's no conflict with the entry, no resistance to the entry, so that they can't like push you out of the way, but they can kind of like wiggle their way in. It's got to be one of those really grey laws, right? But they will say, like, if you've got kids in the house, you know, it might be worth, just go and check, make sure the kids are all right. You know, we've got all the time in the world. You know, we're not going anywhere. We need to discuss this. We need to come up with a solution. If there's anything you need to do, they even let them go and take the kids to school on one of them. You know, and we'll talk when you get back and things like that. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Zar. Yeah. I was quite happy to see that. I think I always thought of them as being quite bullyish. But there's definitely a side of humanity there, which I got to admit, I was quite chuffed to see, to be fair. Yeah, and then the other thing is, I mean, there and Zara Elegon, almost a good cop, bad cop thing. That they seem to be paired up. And I think they were even saying on the show that I watched, where it's not a deliberate good cop, bad cop thing. It's just that everyone has different body language, don't they? And different tones of voices and a different beat to the conversation. And it was quite interesting. I think every time I watched one of these scenarios play out, you could always tell that the individual was drawn towards one of the officers. There was always the one that they saw as the aggressive one and one that they saw as the one that they could talk to. And I thought that was quite interesting. The best ones are the ones where the mom gets involved. You have this like complete fruit-the-loop nut job. Absolute hard case. Ah, fuck you. And then his mom turns up and it's like, oh, all right then. It's like no one's going to do anything bad in front of their mom, are they? And the officer was talking about that, and they say it's always a defining moment when mom walks into the room, or they call their mom. They know it's probably going to have an amicable resolution at that point. I wonder if I'll see if I can check that out. Then maybe it was the one on Netflix. Yeah, whatever it is, it's really good. It was really interesting. You stopped going for leveling on all the combat-orientated skills and going to do the build. Started collecting, smelting, mixing concrete and rebar frames. Going to make it sturdy. Are we talking about 7 days, this, man? Oh. Yeah, that's it. We were talking about this with regards to housing estates, Jimmy. Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it, Jimmy? Yeah. It's there was a big hoo-ha in one of the cities I were in where people were literally going around some of the they called them areas of extreme deprivation, and it was actually categorized by the government in that way, and certain support systems were put into place. But what was happening, you actually had loan sharks that were just going around knocking on the door, and literally as the door is open, they have a wedge of £500 in cash in hand. You know, potentially more money than some people have ever seen in one spot in their entire fucking life, Jimmy. 500 quid. Yeah, do you want 500 quid, mate? Straight up, you can literally take it out of my hand now. 500 quid. Take it. You just need to pay us back, you know, £2 a week. £2 a week over X amount of years. But then, of course, they turn up the following week, Jimmy. And it's not 2 quid, it's 10 quid. Yeah, scary stuff, mate. Really scary stuff. Yeah. They're doing a job that's got a really bad rep. You're not going to give a good review of the people who come and take your stuff away. No. Yeah. They're very impressed. I mean, like I said, I know it's televised, and I'm sure behind closed doors there's plenty of those boys and girls that are, you know. Let's put it this way: when they're getting threatened on this show, they don't fight back. I should imagine that's not always the case, right? But yeah, it's a very, very scary thought that there are so many families that have got children that it's almost like there's no way out. You know, that for whatever reason, that they've got caught up in something that is gonna ultimately potentially destroy their lives, and I think that's really scary that goes on. So, you know, and it's so prevalent in the UK. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world. I should imagine where loan sharking is so prolific, it's the same everywhere, right? But I don't know if there's other laws in other countries that kind of prevent these just absolutely insane interest rates like Jimmy's saying. What's that, guys? It's taking you 15 years to pay back 30 grand of debt. And now you're down to the last 1k and you're debt free. Well done, mate. Fucking well done, bro. Well done. Yeah, I suppose I was sort of lucky in that regard, I must admit, because my dad is, well, he was an accountant, so he's always had his head very firmly screwed on when it comes to money. And I think that was kind of beaten into me from a very early age, you know. The temptation as a student to go and take out loans was so overwhelming. I was having to work my ass off and try to study, you know. And when you're a student, you're lucky to get a job, and they don't give a shit about you, and they will pay you below minimum wage because they don't give a fuck, because there's hundreds of other students that are more than happy to... Oh, that's not good. Hundreds of other students that are happy to go and take your place, right? And... you know, I see some of my friends that obviously, you know, and I didn't begrudge them. Of course I didn't. In fact, in many ways, they used to help me out at times. But, you know, for friends that had a slightly more privileged cash flow from the family, let's put it that way. You know, the temptation for me to just say, I'm fucking knackered. I want to go out and have some fucking fun at the weekend and not work behind the fucking bar. Taking all this shit abuse from the local townies. You know, the temptation to go and take 5 grand out from that West, you know, let us through the door every other day. Of course you were tempted, right? Right, and where was that bloody hole? I'm actually quite surprised we got out of that then. Alright, let's go down. I think we've got enough to get... The only thing that we're going to need is the brass, isn't it? Let's go and do some inventory management down below. We don't have to do this every week, but we are going to have to do it a bit more regularly, I think, as we get more and more of the irradiated zombies. They just take so many more rounds to take out, don't they? I might start travelling with that marksman rifle. See if we can start getting sort of comfortable with it. You're right, Hash, you actually did business debt collection for a long while. Turned up, hand over the paperwork, sit and wait. It's amazing how fast people pay their debt with 4 bikers sitting in their reception room. So the question is, how did you get into the dining room? You see, how did you get past the front door, mate? Right, lead in there. So you deal with bailiffs all the time in work, so I know the human side of it, and I know that although some of them do love the power of the job, a lot of them don't. Yeah. And like I said, it's almost like there's a balance to them. Almost like you've got the one guy who's willing to just like, that's it, I've had enough now. Fuck you, pal. The one who's got like the voice of reasons are. I'm sure it's all done very deliberately and possibly just for the show's purposes. Who knows? But yeah, it is what it is, isn't it, mate? Like I said, the sad thing is, you know, if you owe money, you owe money, and it's easy to sit there and sort of think, you know, that's the end of it. You know, you owe somebody money, you need to pay it back. But the problem is that's not taking into account the amount of people that are scammed into taking money out in the first place. Like I said, you know, someone turns up at your front door, £500 in your hand, You know, you've got 3 screaming kids in the background. You know, you can't afford to put food on the table. You know, you're out of electric. Someone's there with 500 quid and offering it £2 a week. What are you going to do, man? You know, the pressure's there. It's £500 cash, literally. Just take it. Waved in your face. What are you going to do? It's easy to say you're not going to take it, right? Have you ever been in that position? I defy anyone to not be tempted. But that's the problem, isn't there? There's debt, and then there's unfair debt. 3,000% interest. It's wrong, isn't it? It's just wrong. Yeah, guaranteed, Esme. You know, I normally have a rule, Esme, that I always backfill holes. It's been a golden rule for all my playthroughs, and this time I've just been really lazy with it because I'm so excited to carry on playing the game. So I'm forever falling down bloody holes that Daphnes have built and things. Yeah, there was a funny one I was watching, Czar, and this will let you know if it's the same show that you were watching. But I swear I was watching it on Virgin Media. But I guess these shows pop up on all sorts of different channels, and it was a Scouser, mate. It was a Scouser at a garage, and he was denying that he was who he was, and the bailiffs put a call into the police. They said, you know, he's getting a bit aggressive. We need a bit of police out, and it turned out that the chief constable for that area, right, along with, I think it was like 7 of his senior officers, were like literally a few minutes away. So they all fucking turned up, mate. It's like the bailiff says, you couldn't have asked for a better result, you know, in a million years, mate. It wasn't even like just, you know, a couple of police guys. It was the chief constable and 7 senior officers just suddenly turned up at this garage. And the dude was shouting at the dude saying, "Don't you fucking lie again. Don't you lie to me again." Oh dear. I should imagine they have days like that where, you know, the stars quite literally align as a bailiff. You know, you have your good days, you have your bad days, you got your, you know, your days where everyone's being aggressive, and you go home and you think, God, this job is just not worth the hassle, mate. And then you get a day like that. And I must admit, Zara, I was thinking about you at the time, mate. Oh, there it is. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, mate. Take care, Uncle Sam. Take care, take care, take care. Important question to you guys. I started watching Doctor Who. Never did before. I think I watched, or started with season 5. Is that what I can expect from the whole series? I was a bit confused. I wish I could answer it, Elegon. I can't watch Doctor Who, and I've tried watching Doctor Who. It's a show that just has no consistency for me. I've watched episodes that have really got me excited for Doctor Who. And then I've watched another episode of Doctor Who, and I honestly feel like I'm watching something that's been written by a 3-year-old, mate. That's the only issue with me with Doctor Who. I just can't reliably sit down and honestly feel like I'm going to watch something that is, I hate to say it, but even almost age appropriate for me. I find some of them just ludicrous. I swear a kindergarten kid could write a better episode. And so I've just never been able to get into it. But yeah, other episodes are fantastic. You know, I just want more. I can't help you with that one, dude. I'm afraid. I am not a Doctor Who fan. Not at all. Right, now, we've definitely got a problem with organics. A huge problem with organics. Or have we? Maybe we have got room. Let's pop... No, not just pop a load. Hang on, where's all the nitrate gone? Is that... stacking 6,000s. I don't think I actually clicked to that. Alright, pop that away. Pop the raw iron in there. Doctor Who is one of those shows that I've tried many times to like give it another chance. You know, come on, let's go for it. Let's really get into it. You know, positive. You're in the right frame of mind, and I just never make it through more than a couple of 3 episodes before I just start drifting. I think they have, doesn't Doctor Who have a lot of different writers? You know, for each season. Do they not? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's why I feel it's not consistent. Perhaps I don't know because I don't know anything about it. But I don't understand how one episode can be so absolutely freaking completely and utterly riveting, and then the next one just feel like, are you seriously taking the piss? This is just embarrassing to watch. Throw that in there. Alright, so if we throw in that... Oh, no, sorry, not that. Where's that just gone? Shit. It's that goes back in, isn't it? Go up there. Alright, let me just get some coffee down my neck. You don't fuck about with the chief constable. Yeah, it was crazy. Honestly, it was brilliant. So I've never seen a policeman quite that aggressive. It was like, you lie to me again. And this bloke, they've been all like, bravo, like, chest puffed out. You ain't fucking coming in here. You ain't fucking coming in here. He scene changes. That's one of the ones where the mom turns up as well, so. Oh dear. Freeze, I think I missed you there, mate. Freeze, thank you so much for the 15 months, my friend. Sorry, Freeze. How are you, mate? Thank you very, very much, bro. Thank you for the 15, sir. Thank you very, very much, mate. How are you, fella? Did you have a nice weekend, Freeze? Do you think you've seen it, Wentex? It's brilliant, isn't it, mate? It is. It's proper brilliant. You think Doctor Who's an acquired taste? Yeah, for me, it's consistency. That's the only thing I've ever been able to say. Watch it from season 1 and take it slow. Some are crap, some are great, and most are filler episodes, but I like them. Is that really what it comes down to? That they literally just have some really bad episodes, and you just got to, you know, sort of almost pick and choose. It's not aimed at adults and never was. Really? I don't know, because I don't know enough about it, Chucky. You started watching with Avena's boyfriend, David Tennant. Some episodes are a bit crap and confusing, others are fantastic. It's worth sticking out to see if you like it there, yeah. See, I don't have the time to have something like that in my life. I need consistency. If I've got an hour to watch a Netflix or whatever program, I need to know it's going to be an hour well spent. So that's why Doctor Who just don't cut it for me. Yeah, because you like that Dirk Gently, didn't you, Elegon? I think, didn't you give like a bit of a cheeky review? Oh no, Elegon's just found out it's been cancelled, look. Tom Baker, wasn't he like years ago, dude? Oh, nice one, Evil. Good. Pleased to hear it, mate. So the last season was really bad. Alright. John Pertwee in the 70s. God, I don't even know who that is. When they brought in that idiot Sylvester McCoy. I don't even know who that is either. Yeah. I think I started watching it when it was. I think the first show I ever saw, and I think it had already running on like the second or third season at that point. Was that one with bloody? Was it Billy Piper or whatever her name was? I think at that point she'd left, or I think she had been in a relationship previously with, I hesitate to say, Chris Evans, is it? The ginger lad from Thank God It's Friday. I think that's the only one that I sort of vividly remember. It's something to do with plastic people. They were like plastic people, and I just turned it off. I just thought that I just don't get it. I just can't watch this drivelling nonsense. No, see, I'd watch the stuff with David Tennant because I actually do like David Tennant. So, but you know, if someone was actually to bother to sit down and write out a list of good episodes with David Tennant and not filler episodes, then I'd be more inclined to give it a whirl, I should imagine. John Pertwee played Wurzel Gooch. John Pertwee. I was thinking of that. What's that? Oh God, what's the American show? Begins with a P. Little scrawny dude. Who am I thinking of? No, it's not John, is it? I can't freaking remember. You got my brain cells whirring there, dude. Right, anyway, let's go and see. What have we got going on here? Let's go and have a look. And we have the bow. We want to get the bow sorted. We want to get a bandage. We could probably do with some more. What day is it? 143. So next pull is 147, isn't it? Well, let's go and start ammo production. Oh, balls. And I think we're going to start playing with electrics. Let's go see if we can build an electric door. We'll get that 4x4 up and running. We'll extend the width. I think we'll be okay on the vertical for the access. I think the width will need to go 5 though. Is that what I'm thinking of? Pee Wee Herman. I think you're right. Yeah, Pee Wee Herman. Oh Jesus, good lord. Right, let's have a look at what we got going on. So the 4x4. Oh, I forgot to use the nerdy glasses. Gutted. Come on, Grum. Pay attention, mate. That can all go in there. Alright, so. Let me take some gas. We'll always leave half the gas in. Because obviously we don't want to run out and have no reserve. I'm going to repair the bow. Now, I'm pretty sure we have got the other half of the car somewhere. Which doesn't seem to be in there, unless it's that. Ah, there you go. Truck accessories. So I'm going to assume we need the 4 tyres, a battery, and an engine. Anything else that we need to mould all this into shape? There we go. 4x4 truck is on the way. Lovely jubbly. How are we doing for... I'm gonna make another bandage, don't I? So if we drop them out, recipes, bandage craft. What's the story with work today then, Zora? You got a bit of time off, mate, or just in later on tonight? Fuck you, Grant. And you, Zara. We did, yeah. We got the crucible. In fact, I found the schematic for the crucible. So yeah, we were looking pretty dapper on all that, mate. Right, generators. What do I need to invest in to make generators? Because that's the one thing that we didn't get. It's going to be science or advanced engineering, electrician. Generators build advanced base defense systems such as electric fences and blade traps. Right, we bought it. Right, I want to make a generator. How do I do that? Generator bank. Forged iron, mechanical, and electrical. Forged iron, mechanical, and I'm still not used to these new icons. Electrical. There we go. So we're going to make a generator bank. Gonna craft that now. How are we gonna oh, a motion sensor might be the best way to do it.
Dad, I don't know if you can even hear me, but I need you to wake up. It's not the same without you. Mum has been trying her best to raise me, but I need you. Please, if you can hear me, I need you to scrap Timmy the turret with all the mods. Please wake up.
What the fuck, dude? What the fuck? I'm afraid even if you were my firstborn child and you were asking me to scrap Timmy the turret, you'd have absolutely fuck all chance, mate. And especially not for 100 bits, mate. You got absolutely zero chance of that happening. Timmy's my one true love. I'm sorry. You've been cut out of the will as well, mate. I'm sorry, Harolander. You best of luck in life. You've been an amazing child all these years, but it's time to grow up, man up, set out and embark on the journey of your life. And your wonderful brother here, Timmy the Turret, you know, he's I've always preferred him, to be honest, mate. It's he's just better than you. Thank you for the bits though, dude. Right, okay. Let's have a look at... We've got... It's only going to be 2 minutes. Oh, and we'll need... We're going to need a wiring to... Well, I'll tell you what we're going to need more than anything. Let's go and check the shapes on the frames, the rebar frames. I don't think... Oh, wow. Is that all you have? Oh, that is a bit shit, isn't it? Do you think they'll add those over time? Or... Thanks for the beer, Saralander. How you doing, Sadie? Let me get you a rock out, bro. Let me get you a rock. The rock of all rocks. There you go, mate. Look at this. Look at this beautiful specimen. Beautiful, mate. Beautiful. How you doing, sir? Did you have a nice? You had a nice weekend, bro. How's Casper? Oh, and the other thing we're going to want is the doors, isn't it? So let's have a look at what sort of doors can we make? Garage door industrial powered. Garage door metal powered. So this is presumably the rolling door, the same as that one, is it? Looks they look like two different kind of. Is that wood? Is it just a wooden door? Steel, spring, mechanical, and electrical. Steel, 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 steel. Spring, 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 spring. Let's make one of those powered doors. So rolling garage door. No. Powered garage door. What am I short of there? Oh, wow, electrical parts. Oh, dudes, we need... Oh, I tell you what, I'm actually really surprised how that's worked out this playthrough. I think that's the second time we've been cock-blocked from making anything because of electrical parts. And they're not hard to find. It's just that normally we have a huge stock portfolio of those particular sort of reagents, don't we? And we just haven't had that this time around. I'm not going to make the steel arrows yet. Are you enjoying it then, Evil? Are you both busy playing Alpha 18, are you, mate? It's a good bloody game. Really good game, Evil. You can't go wrong with it, dude. Bring those down there. So we'll put all that on the car. Let me drink my coffee and we'll head out in the morning then. Let's just have another meat stew because we're actually quite low on that, aren't we? Lovely jubbly. I don't send the nudes. I'll have you know. We understood the legal issues with that. Mojo is the distributor. All right. I can't get done for that, Zar. Have a nice one, Elegon. You're right, Ravanius. Do you have time to talk about the people's savior, Hideo Kojima? Because I'm not really getting the hype. I've played MGS 1, 2, and 5. Well, there's your mistake then. Because you didn't play the two best ones. And they were good games, but what makes its head developer Hideo different? I've seen no real gameplay for Death Stranding, but people are super hyped. You can't answer that question if you don't already get it. It's just one of those things. Hideo Kojima has always been a... incredibly rather than thinking about the game, think about the Fox engine. If you've played Metal Gear Solid 5, don't forget there's been a huge amount of controversy with obviously Konami and Hideo. Hideo is a very, very highly respected member of the gaming development sort of community. He has been very inspirational for a lot of modern day developers. He has vision, he has innovation, he has creativity that we very, very rarely see come to fruition in the modern industry. He takes risks, he does different things, he's really into technology. And the Fox engine in particular was a true passion for him. You'll never really find anyone that's ever had any day-to-day dealings with Hideo Kojima, both at a professional and even social level, that hasn't... He's just an incredibly respectful individual. He is very sincere, also very down-to-earth and very genuine, despite being in an industry that literally... spews out assholes like Randy Pitchford. He's a very quiet, very humble man, and he's worked on some of the biggest games, you know, in generations. If you think about the games you've played and what they meant from a technical and narrative-driven point of view when they came out, you know, you can't look at a game that's hundreds of years old essentially and try and look at it objectively through a modern gamer's perspective. But it's the sheer insanity of the games. Like, you've never seen anything like. I mean, you play Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean, just completely crazy. And don't forget, that wasn't the game that it should have been anyway. You know, obviously with all the issues with Konami, that was, you know, I'm sure it would have been a very different game had he been allowed to pursue the normal dev cycle with it. The Fox engine alone is just a work of fucking art in the right hands. And those right hands were, of course, under the creative control of Hideo. Death Stranding is the first time. Of course, people are excited. The Metal Gear Solid franchise is huge. It's literally the very definition of a piece of gaming culture. Very few gamers, even you know, relatively newcomers to the gaming world, won't have heard of Metal Gear Solid. They might not know a lot about it, but they'll certainly have heard of it. And Death Stranding is the very Konami now are gone. Hideo now he's his own man. This will be the first time that he's had full control over the production of the game. It's a brand new IP. It's using an amazing engine. You know, he chose, of all the engines he had access to, he chose to use Guerrilla Games' engine under that, you know, early umbrella of support through Sony. So of course people are hyped. It's the game will do it will do well no matter what, because the guy just has a fan base. What the game actually is, we don't know. No one knew what Metal Gear Solid 5 was going to be before it came out. Remember all the adverts for that? And look what the game was once we had it in our hands. You know, you can't predict, you can't have any opinion on Death Stranding at this point, because this is literally the lifeblood of Hideo Kojima. He's not going to tell you what the game's about. You have to wait until you get to play it. There are rumours that a lot of the gaming journos have played it and that they've just been blown away by it. Pure hype, more than likely. No, there's no point even having an opinion, dude. This is what Hideo does. Smoke and mirrors all the way, and then the game lands, and that's part of what he does. You know, even the evolution, the development of Hideo's games are shrouded in fun and mystery, and theory crafting, and conspiracy theories. Everything he touches just has a mystery around it, and that's what it is. And you either get that or you don't. That simple. So I hope that answers that question. Serious question: chicken curry or chili con carne with chips or rice? What? As in right now? I'd go personally. Chili con carne with chips, mate. Chili con carne with chips right now. Nice big steak cut chips, spicy hot chili con carne. Fucking bish bash bosh, mate. Your kid was up at 6:30 yesterday morning. 6:30, he doesn't even wake up at 9 on a school morning. We were both thoughts after we discovered how many POIs they added this alpha and the previous alpha. They are freaking amazing. 7 Days was and is an awesome game for couples. It is. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think Chucky and Hashi are really enjoying it as well, Evil. Obviously, I have no idea what Zar's babbling on about. He's just a bit of a dickhead. But then again, Zaranthian didn't like Red Dead Redemption either, so that says all you need to know about him. But will people be truly honest with the game? Does it matter, dude? Again, does it fucking matter? If you don't like the game, you don't play it. I don't understand this obsession. You know, if you're not interested in it, just... How many other games are coming out that you're not interested in, dude? Just let it lie. If you're not interested in it, there's no point in worrying about it, is there? It's like I said, there's no point in worrying about a game that isn't even out yet, right? It'll be what it is. Wait. It makes no sense. So as like I said, especially when it's a Hideo Kojima game. Right, anyway. Let's put all of this away. What are we going to do with all this bloody meat? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the grain alcohol out, because obviously that's taken up a huge amount. So any fluids we'll bring out of here, and we'll throw that and that back in there, that and that back in there, that and that back in there. Lovely jubbly. And we'll also throw that back in there. I can tell you for a fact, Zar will not like Death Stranding, because Zar didn't like walking around in Red Dead Redemption, you see. Not all games can be for everybody. And of course people, that's a silly question to ask. Will people be honest? Of course they will. I'll be honest about it. Why would we not be honest about it? Like, you know, I'm a massive fan of fucking 7 days. You didn't hear me not being honest about Alpha 17, did you? In fact, I'm pretty sure quite a lot of people have had quite enough of me talking about Alpha 17, especially when I start talking about stamina. No one does, Ravanius. No one does. This is the beauty of it. You know, rather than letting that put you off, embrace it. Embrace it as something different. Instead of saying, oh, I know nothing about this game. Isn't that a good thing? How many fucking games do we know everything there is to fucking know about before it even fucking lands? Every game, spoiler trailer, spoiler this, yeah, it's another fucking run of the mill. We run around, shoot some bad guys, yeah, whatever. Get a new weapon, get this, yeah, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You don't know anything about this one. Any other game you can say that about? Probably not, right? The Last of Us 2 is doing the same thing. We don't know a lot about The Last of Us 2, do we? But we know a fuckload more than we do about Death Stranding. You're enjoying Alpha 18. We couldn't play it 17, but for Nomad play. Yeah, we were talking about this quite a lot earlier, weren't we? Even the little things like making the land claim blocks like 5 stone, Hashi. Yeah. Can be improved. Yeah, you're really obsessed with the cave systems, aren't you, Hashi? Is that something that you've seen in previous alphas that I've simply forgotten? What is it you're actually after? I've not quite understood your desires on that. You keep saying tunnels. Do you mean as in actual, just like tunnels? Like you'll break into a tunnel system? Why would that exist anyway? What would be in such a tunnel system that makes it interesting? Or are you talking about like underground basements of facilities and things like that? I'm not sure. I quite get your point with that one. Is the truck done? Should we see if the truck fits through the hole? I'm pretty sure it's not gonna. Right, we need. Oh, hang on. We need to go wrench out some electrical parts, don't we? Let's grab the 4x4. Does pineapple juice do something for your fingerprints? Well, pineapple juice is acidic, right? Would it do anything for your fingerprints? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I should imagine it would destroy any oily stuff on your fingers, but it wouldn't, and therefore that would make it. I don't know. Would it? I don't know. Mate. I ain't got a clue. Need a bit more context, I should imagine. Let's pop that there because we can always pick it back up, can't we? I don't think it's even going to fit through the 3-block gap, so we will definitely have to make it 5. I think height-wise will be okay. I think. Can I please tell me I can actually pick that up? So it's going up there. We'll pop that there. And then we'll refuel. What happens if I pick that up? Do I get the fuel back? Or is that? You can. Yeah, I thought you might just be. I would probably lose all the torches. But... Holy shit,
oh,
that's fucking awesome. that sound. That's so bad. Holy shit, it does. I'm actually really surprised. I didn't think it would fit. I thought we'd be really scraping the sides and doing loads of damage to it, but... Oh, that is awesome, mate. That is freaking awesome. Flashbacks. Oh, god damn it, this scuzzy goddamn fog. Every goddamn time I'm enjoying myself, the fog hits. We'll leave that there. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. Let's log out of the bloody game and come back in, and hopefully that will be fixed. So way back when we had caves and caverns and caves and tunnels, huge places with lakes in them. When the hell did we have that, dude? I didn't know we had that, mate. Kresic, thank you for the 4 months, dude. Freeze, thank you for the 15, bro. Sorry, Juffy. Yeah, I must have not played through those alphas, Hashi. See, we actually used to be able to go in 7 days and find, like, underground lakes. That is mind-blowing, dude. I had no idea that has ever been in there. To be honest, mate, I'd forgotten until Wentex mentioned it how block-based the game was until I went back and watched the preview trailer. I'd completely forgotten about all that. So... I'm completely confused. It is. It's the Batmobile. The Batmobile and the Grum Cave. Are you alright, Gaz? I didn't see you in chat. How you doing, guys? You alright, Keggy? Alpha 18 is the best update I've played since I started with Alpha 7. Same here, mate. I started Alpha 5, I think. And yeah, I legit agree, mate. I really do agree. Yeah. I'm with you, Ravanius. I way preferred Fallout 3 to New Vegas. Same here, mate. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, totally agree with that one. I was not a fan of the setting of Vegas. Yeah. You're right, Jupp. You got to head out for your physio, have you, mate? Well, I hope it all goes well today. I really do. I hope it's a good day for you, mate. How are the little ones doing, Juppy? Oh, hang on. I've just suddenly thought I haven't got the wrench because the wrench is going to be on the bike, isn't it? Oh, balls. Is the bike down? In fact, that's a good question. Where is the bike? Presumably back at the lake area. Oh, I don't really. I honestly, that's mind blowing.
You've been a most
the sense of exploration must have been awesome, Hash.
And you've waited too long for this moment.
Miss Jamie Tigris, thank you very much for the host. Krezik, seriously, bro, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the 4. And a big shout out to Freeze for the 15 as well. Thank you very much. Howlander, thank you for the bits, my friend. Can't do it, Dan. I say it every single time. It messes my reshade settings, so I have to completely quit the client. Otherwise, it takes me longer to do that fix than it does to do the log in, log out, mate. You're just happy that Obsidian has delivered a huge FU to Bethesda with the Outer Worlds. Well, it's a bloody good game from what I'm seeing. I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. Dink, 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 and dink. So we're definitely going to want that, aren't we? So let's head to. I suppose we could even do the quest, wouldn't we? Ooh. See, does this look different? Is the bonnet got like some plates riveted to it or something? Or does it always look like that? It just looks a little bit, I don't know, she just looks different. You blow my mind, Hasher, honestly. That must have been so cool exploring that. I just have no recollection of it. You played in Alpha... There were no cave systems in Alpha 14, mate. No. There were no cave systems in Alpha 14. I played Alpha 14. Anybody remember cave systems in my playthrough of Alpha 14, which was Caliper City? No way. There were like caves in the sense like it was a tunnel that went for about 30 blocks that had a couple of mushrooms and stalactites and stalagmites in them. I mean, there were those sorts of caves. Because that's where we used to go to get a little bit of, like I said, a little bit of nitrate. But that's not what Hash is talking about, is it? You're talking about, like, actual, like, underground rivers and things, are you not? I mean, the caves we used to find were like, you know, you went in and you came back out. So sometimes it would have a puddle of water at the bottom. I mean, tiny little caves. But they were linear as fuck. Like I said, the only reason you went in it was to get a mushroom and a bit of nitrate, wasn't it? You can't take gas out of bikes and stuff anymore. Are you joking? What, so if I pick it up, I lose all the gas? Ah! Alright, thank you for that. I didn't know that, actually. So I've got, actually, so every time I... is that why my mini bike's been chewing through the gas? Because I keep crashing into holes. Could be, couldn't it? Yeah, I remember the small caves, but I mean that isn't. I mean, Hash is talking about like proper exploration and stuff. So I mean, that'd be awesome to get that back in the game. Jesus, imagine you just you're tunneling away quite happily, making a little underground road, and you suddenly breach into some massive underground cavern system like you would in Minecraft. That'd be freaking awesome. Just gonna get these chrysanthemums. I've got to go and get a coffee before we go in here. I'm proper bursting for a Jimmy Riddle, man. proper bursting, bro. We made the 4x4 probably yesterday. I just didn't actually put it together, dude. I think it takes like 63 minutes for the chassis or something. So. Yeah, I met these. Oh yeah, the wormholes. Yeah, I remember the wormholes. Like I said, you know, in and out. Little. It's like a little inverted Xeranthian micro penis, wasn't it? No deeper than a little sausage roll, like a pig in a blanket. Oh, I can hear the Z. Where are you? Yeah, because that's the one. I mean, all the times people used to talk to me about exploring in Minecraft. So, oh, you're gonna love the Nether. Oh, wait till he finds the, what was it? The fortress, the Nether fortress. I had more fun down a little dark hole with old Simpsy than I did in any of that shit. That game's fucking terrible for exploration. Absolutely terrible. I actually liked the abandoned underground mines and things. They were actually good fun. Where are you going, darling? Come here. Come here. God, blimey, Gaffner. Oh, God, shit her in the foot. Terrible shot. Alright, what's going on? Come on, Grummy, what's going on, boy? What's going on, fella? Is this actually the boom? Oh dear me. So this is the one that you can never find the way out of, isn't it? You end up in that area, but you have to hack through the bloody steel door, don't you? And I bet I haven't brought my bloody pickaxe with me. That sounds so good, Hashi. I had no idea about that. That just sounds brilliantly good fun. That really does sound absolutely fantastic, dude. You're right, Weetabix. Oh, really, Weetabix? Should we test it? I'll tell you. Oh, I can't. Oh, I can't really risk it because if I do lose it, then. How would we know how much fuel is in it? I've got. Whoa! 20% gas. You're having a laugh, mate. Oh well, I'm not going to do it. We'll leave that for later. Who never went to the Nether? I went to the fucking Nether, and I literally went to the Nether and thought, what a sack of shit this is. And I have no doubt the end was exactly the fucking same, which is why I never went there. Oh, the fuel does stay in the vehicle. Oh right, okay. We now have the tech to merge a POI like the mine into a natural underground terrain. Can also target it to hit an underground ore vein. So exactly 15 blocks below ground where some mine shafts branch out. Haven't used all that yet. Ooh, gas. Hashi. It could be happening. You still have Caliper City. You remember the shoddy Photoshop? What was that, dude? Oh, I'd love. Have you got like any old footage of it, Hashi? I'd love to see that, mate. Oh, dude, I can't believe I missed out on all of that. It's probably a good thing, otherwise I'd probably never have stopped bitching and moaning about it being taken out, Hashi, to be honest. A little bit like stamina. 10,000 gas for the 4x4. Oh, my lord. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the gas clarification. You're right, Keggy. Looking forward to the Fun Pimps incorporating wandering NPCs and gangs to the game. You're talking about the ever talked about raiders, I think they, or bandits, I think they were called, weren't they? Yeah. Yeah. I think I can make the gyrocopter now. I'm sure we found both parts for it, or we were very close to it. Yeah. You can have a 4x4 after I get my